Hello and welcome to the final Open Sports Mic of 2025 on the Driving to the Top Productions Monkey Spectrum Sports YouTube page. Yours truly, the Big D up here. Down below me, Joe Dalio. Next to me, Charles. And then last but not least, the Ken the Bear fan, or what is it now? His auxiliary Twitter handle, because his other one is, well, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And no customer support threat.
That's because Brock Purdy took it with his fifth touchdown the other night.
Nah, this went up over a month. It's been a month and not one response from ex-customer support. Think about that.
Hey, Josh, where is everyone else at? Well, we're here. Why don't you come join us? You be the Steeler guy. We talk Steelers Ravens for the next hour if we want. Hour one. I posted in. So, two of the teams on top won. The teams on top didn't win, although you came about as close as we could. Charles, Baltimore's game plan was very simple on Saturday night in Green Bay. Give Derrick Henry the bleeping ball. Charles.
He's frozen.
Uh-oh.
But that was a good game plan against Green Bay. And look, I mean, Green Bay coming in that game, they played really good against the Bears without Micah Parsons. Right? First game without Micah, they adjusted well. And to be honest with you, the NFC North, we have some experience with this. Last year when Aiden Hutchinson went down, the very next game was against the Vikings, and they played really, really, really well against the Vikings, that defense did. They did better in weeks post that than what, say, Green Bay just did. But 1 week after an injury, a short week at that, right, it's usually hard. That other team's offense isn't going to be fully adjusted. But you saw that Baltimore had more time to adjust to Micah being gone. So they said, okay, look, they got Micah out. They got some other guys out. Just pound the rock. That's all we have to do is pound the rock. They could have thrown because that whole secondary is suspect in Green Bay this year. But, I mean, I'm wondering how far Green Bay is going to go in the playoffs. Or are they now that classic team that's in the playoffs but barely limping into it?
And I mean, Joe, you can attest because your Bills played the Ravens week 1 when everyone was sort of healthy. And that game was going Baltimore's way until Henry fumbled, and we all know what happened after that.
Right. I've mentioned it before. That's starting from week 1. I mean, the Buffalo Bills think games don't start until about halfway through the third quarter. And they proved it there. They do have the knack of coming back, but, it's going to bite them at some point. But, yeah, you're right. And it seems like it's been an uphill battle for the Ravens since. And, the Bills have made a habit of winning games like that. But, that's going to have to stop. They're going to have to, show up from minute 1 here, the rest of the way.
Hey, Joe, quick question. Josh Allen does like the Superman thing late. And Caleb almost broke the record. It was the 7th game of the year. If he had completed that final pass, he would have had 7 comeback wins in under 2 minutes. Do you see a lot of Josh and Caleb? You know what I'm saying? Like style of play, the way they can lead a team.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of him, although I certainly wouldn't call you crazy for saying that. No. I think he is kind of perhaps developing along the same path. And, Josh Allen didn't really have those opportunities until a little bit later in his career, whereas Caleb Williams is getting them now. So, I don't think it's outlandish to make that suggestion. And I never really thought of it, but I would not disagree with you on that.
Hey, Ken the Bear. Hey, Ken. I'm looking at Caleb and Josh's stats. Josh from year 2. Josh's completion percentage in year 2, 58.8%. Caleb this year, 57.9%. Caleb, 25 passing touchdowns. Josh Allen, one passing touchdown. But Josh Allen took the big leap from year 2 to year 3. Watch what Caleb and Ben Johnson do with a full off season in year 2 together. Caleb's completion percentage should go up.
Well, his completion percentage should already be up. There was a stat that came up this weekend. It said most receiving yards per quarterback if that for drops. So the stat was like if the balls weren't dropped, here's how many more yards they have. Guess who was on top of that list this year? Caleb Williams with almost an additional 500 yards in passing had balls not been dropped, and you could say even more because like the drop in DC, Zacchaeus would still be running, right? I mean he had all day to run. In fact, Zacchaeus had 2 that if he would caught, he'd still be running. Now I have to go back and watch Josh's second year to see how many case of that. The one thing I've noticed about Caleb this year, it's a lot of throwaways. Like I would say over half his incomplete passes are just him throwing the ball away, if not a little bit more. And I would say he does it more than most quarterbacks do in this league. He is really quick to throw it away this year. That's a good thing, maybe a bad thing, because there have been a couple times he's thrown it away. It's like, dude, if you waited a half second more and you had the half second, or you could have had 2 seconds, you would have had the guy. And there have been cases where he's thrown it away and then go, man, I had this guy over here. I wish I. So with age comes vision and wisdom. So, to your point, Dylan, I think that we see that track of improvement like we see with Josh Allen with Caleb. I don't want to say Caleb's ahead of Josh in that way, right, in his development, but God, it's eerily similar. The only thing that he doesn't do that Josh does, Josh will like lower the shoulder pads and hit a dude. Caleb hasn't gotten to that point. I mean, he's big enough he could. He added 15 pounds of muscle last year between seasons. So, I mean, he's getting that way. But to me, I see a lot of the attributes that Josh brings to Buffalo. I see with Caleb in Chicago, and even the way he interacts with his coach. Like after the game Sunday, they do the pressers. Ben Johnson's up there. They ask him about the final play, and Ben Johnson says, "Look, I got the play in late. This was on me. I took too long to get the play in. Blah blah blah." 15 minutes later, Caleb's on the podium. They ask him the exact same question. How do you think Caleb answers it? Does he throw the coach under the bus after the coach just threw himself under the bus? No, he blames himself. Well, we weren't lined up the way we were supposed to be, and I just wanted to try to do something, but I dirted the ball. I need to get my other leg underneath it. I got to do a better job. I mean, they both took blame for it. I love the way these two guys interact with each other. Rich Eisen said today these guys are going to be a massive problem in the NFL for years to come, and it starts in 2 weeks. I was like, wow. And that's what made me think of Josh.
I think the one difference between Josh and Caleb is that Josh is significantly bigger. Caleb's like 6'2". Josh Allen's 6'5", 6'6". So the height's a little different, but there's a lot that's very comparable between both men.
Yeah, Caleb. Let me see how tall he is. Let me look it up.
Yeah, I don't think he's 6'5".
He can skip 4,000 yards. Caleb's
about 6'2", 6'3" He's not
6'1". According to his Wikipedia page, he's 6'1", 226.
He's close to undersized. I think closer to Mahomes. I think Mahomes' success helped him because I think there was a time where you looked at Caleb Williams and they would have said he was undersized for quarterback. They're almost as good as this guy here, right here. Number 8, right here.
Hey, by the way, you know who else is really good, Charles? That guy wearing 22.
Yeah, the internet went out. I heard y'all was talking about it. Look, this is why a lot of the Raven fans want Harbaugh gone. Why is it we're all the way at the end of season 2 and you're just now getting him 30 carries? How long have all of us watched football here together? Over 100 years? All of us can kind of figure out, hey, maybe it's a good idea to run Derrick Henry. Every graphic they put for Derrick Henry was he's breaking a new NFL record, carries, yards, all time, this and that with the greats. Maybe it's a good idea to leave him in the fourth quarter and run the football. Might be a good idea. Might be a good idea this week. Might be a good idea, especially if your quarterback's on the shelf.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, Charles, especially this week. But like after the early part of the season, people forget he had the fumbleitis in the early part of the season. But then if you to hand Derrick Henry at his age 20 to 30 times a game, is that sustainable at his age for a full season?
Are you watching?
I agree they waited too long.
Are you watching? Some guys that look, it's true to what say receivers, I think, age early. That was not the case with Jerry Rice. Just wasn't the case with Jerry Rice. Just wasn't the case with Larry Fitzgerald. And it's not the case with Derrick Henry. I'm just
wondering if there's something we don't know about his health, like if he was concerned about his durability and his availability throughout an entire season or for this part of the season. And I agree with you. Like they should have done this 2-3 weeks ago, not just against Green Bay. But and then I could understand it more. Say, okay, they were cautious. But dude, when you start to lose the grip on maybe not going to the playoffs, it's time to throw caution to the wind. It almost seems like Harbaugh waited. Well, we'll find out this weekend if you waited too long.
I'm not giving him credit for that. I'm not. I've seen it. John Harbaugh does not like bell cows. I've said it forever, like on the channel. Like he likes to rotate. He likes the rotation. Even guys who have good seasons running the ball, he likes to split carries. He likes one guy to get it, this other guy. He likes to bounce it around. He does not like one guy to get all the carries. And that's insane when you got Derrick Henry on the team. Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's like the way of the NFL. Look at Detroit, look at Chicago, look at a lot of different places. That's the way the NFL is kind of 50-50. You got bellwethers about half the team and committee in the other half. And the best running teams in the league run by committee.
Yeah. Now, Charles, I got a question for you while we're talking about this. We were talking about week 5, let's say, and I asked you if Harbaugh was on the hot seat, and you said absolutely not, and he's staying. Now I just heard you say, well, fans, kind of want him fired. Has that answer changed? Or, let's say, the Ravens lose, which I don't think they will this week, by the way, but let's say the worst happens, they lose. Does that change, or is he back again?
Well, let me be clear about how the fans feel and how management feels. Okay. I think fans, a lot of them want him fired. I think I'm seeing more on my page, more and more. I want this guy gone. So I think that seat is hot as it's ever been for him. Mm-hmm. I don't know how Bisciotti feels. And I don't, and him and Eric DeCosta are very close. You're so right. The thinking is that he gets to stay regardless. The fans feel totally different. Okay. I think it compared to that and things like that. I do think it's a little hotter for him. I think like that. That's again, Sunday night, such a big storyline. Tomlin, I think the seat's even hotter.
Yeah.
I mean, Adam Schefter, for the first time, I heard him today, and I don't know if you guys heard it, was like, well, maybe he's not coming back. Maybe he's going to TV. I haven't heard him say that before.
Actually, I'm gonna ask one word. If the Steelers lose to the Ravens on Sunday night, is Mike Tomlin coaching the Steelers next year? Joe.
Well, there's people that are part of this network here that I think we know how they feel. We got a couple of Steelers fans, regulars here. We all know how they feel. And again, kind of like what Charles was talking about, it's the fans and management, have maybe differing opinions. And should he be back? As a neutral observer, I say no. Adam here says it all the time. It's like this is Pittsburgh, and again, I've been to Pittsburgh 3 times in my life, so I don't know how life goes there, but it's always been the city of champions, as far as the Steelers are concerned. And now it's been a decade or 20 years of mediocrity. And as a neutral observer, I can't disagree with that. So, do you want to maintain that mediocrity? I think I don't know. Even management maybe wakes up and says, okay, we need to move in a different direction. So Steelers lose that game, which who knows? Maybe a lot of Pittsburgh fans, again, including those close to us here, are hoping for that. But Pittsburgh loses that game. I don't think you should come back.
Jamie.
If he loses, I think no questions. If I was doing this, I'd say no questions, you're gone, Tomlin. But the management obviously feels different. If he loses, I think it's clear he should be gone. But will he be gone? That's the thing.
And I think it's different for Baltimore. I know you didn't ask that question, but I as a neutral observer, again, I think Harbaugh's back regardless of what the Ravens do. But I think Tomlin's job is on the line with this game.
Charles.
I think he's gone if he loses. I think a couple things. One is going to be very hard. A backup quarterback, and I do think it's going to be Tyler Huntley on Sunday night. If a backup quarterback goes into Pittsburgh and wins, it's going to be hard for him to. It's going to be hard for him to justify that, especially when a reason you lost last week because your receiver went ahead and smacked somebody in Detroit because he wasn't on the field. I don't think they're going to extend him, so I don't think to keep him. The difference with the two situations, Harbaugh has a contract for a couple more years. Tomlin, they need to make a decision because he's in a lame duck year and he's going to want a new contract. So are you going to give him another 18 million, 17 million in Pittsburgh? I don't know.
All right.
I think if he wins, I think maybe you can justify it. I don't think he gets another extension at Pittsburgh.
But what happens if he wins this game and then loses in the first round of the playoffs, like always happens?
So,
all right,
real quick, I got one of the guys from the huddle, and he's a Pittsburgh sportscaster, and he's got some people in their organization. And here's been the word in the street pretty much all year. First off, if Tomlin loses, this will be his first losing season, ever, as the head coach.
Well, Pittsburgh be 9-8.
No, they're 8-8 right now.
No,
that's the Ravens 8-8. They're 9-7.
Oh, sorry. All right. So that's right. I'm sorry. So even
9-8, baby, lose in the first round. The standard's a standard.
Even if he loses, he's gone in his entire career there without a losing record. He's got a winning record every year. Feeling is, even if they lose and they miss out on the playoffs, or they get one and done, they don't have to extend a contract. They're just going to announce that next year is the final year. And then maybe they get Aaron Rodgers to stay one more year and those guys retire out together. There's kind of that's the new wrinkle, the Aaron Rodgers piece. But it's kind of been spoken about that they would just not renew after next year and it'd be known that, hey, 20 is it. And you're going to do your 20th year and go on to doing whatever's next in your next chapter of life. He's gonna be 55 years old or so? Because wasn't he like 35 when he took over as head coach?
I think it's like 53, if I'm not mistaken.
So yeah, maybe he's 33 when he took over. So I think regardless of what happens, the fans want him gone. It's evident. It's clear. Talking heads will say they want him gone. It's evident. It's clear. However, the man's never had a losing record. Ownership loves him. He delivered him a Super Bowl. They will probably, I kind of agree with what one of my mates over at Huddle says, that they will just let him finish year 20 and they'll do it right by him. They're not going to fire him. They'll give him his swan song season and hope that when he retires at the end of 20 or leaves the team after the 20th year, that a certain defensive coordinator in Minnesota has got their court case cleared up with the NFL and Brian Flores, and that they can anoint Brian Flores as the next head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that's kind of the game plan.
I don't think there's a universe. I think we talked about this before, where Tom was going for that. If you don't extend him, he's going to go ahead, go to TV. For sure, they're going to put him on the NFL Today or Fox.
Well,
NFL,
great. Then let him retire.
Or ESPN, or if he doesn't want to do that, there are going to be 6 or 7. I mean, the Raiders would love to have Mike Tomlin.
Well, then trade him.
I mean, the
That's
Giants
great, but I mean,
would love
but
to
look,
have.
that's not what the organization's going to do. If Tomlin says, "Well, I want a contract, or I'm not going to coach," and someone else wants him, great. They can trade for him. We've seen, Gruden got traded for, right? The Raiders traded Gruden to Tampa for what, a couple first rounders. I mean, great. We'll trade you Tomlin. Have you ever seen a head coach hold out on a contract?
Yeah. Tomlin, guys, like if they don't get the John Gruden was like the main one, but like guys like this thing either gets resolved with an extension or he's leaving.
I've never seen anything where he's even expecting an extension, but I find if he's going to hold out, okay, great, then he'll fire himself. It won't be the organization. So really, if you want to think about it, if you want to be the organization, you want to fire him without looking like the bad guy. For firing a guy who's given your team 19 years of 19 years straight of winning records, and you don't want to look like the dick who fires him for it. Great, don't offer him the extension. Let him fire himself and let him be the dick and let him hold out and get himself fired. I mean, if Charles, I'm cool with that.
That's
but the organization's not firing him. That's just it. They're going to say finish 20, and then we'll call it mutual parting, and we'll give you your big hail and farewell tour. We'll give you a big to-do at the final home game of the regular season. We'll do right by you, give you the parting gifts and all that. And he says, no, I want an extension. Cool. Go fire yourself then. Because that's basically what he'll be doing.
He's got way too much interest for that scenario to play. This is not Don Shula or Belichick or he's gonna have he would guaranteed be the number one guy on everybody's list. As we know as a coach,
great, but
and television, and okay, so that's why he's leaving. They might tell him.
I don't agree with you that he's going to do that. I don't agree with you that he's going to do that because I look at the head coaching situations that are out there for next year. Tennessee, he probably wants no part of, right? And what's the other one that's out there right now? Tennessee and New York. I don't know. I don't think he wants any piece of New York right now or Tennessee.
Miami.
Miami's not going to be open. They're not going to fire him.
It's about this. This show's about to get really sexy.
I don't think they're going to fire him. They may, but I mean, would you want to go to Miami? That'd be interesting if that were to transpire. But so would you want to go? Would you want to go to Baltimore? Well, now you're making the assumption they fire head coach and he wants to stay within the division and play against the team he just coached for 19 years. I mean. Look, there's a lot of assuming here, but the fact is he's under contract for one more year. They don't have to extend him, and if they want him gone without firing him, just don't extend him and let him be the ass who makes himself look
Sounds like you need to do a hard reset, dude.
Let him look unhireable by other teams by playing the God role. Well, you're going to extend me, or I'm gonna hold out. Cool. Just hurt your value.
Why do you keep thinking the Steelers have leverage? They don't.
They have all the leverage. They have the contract.
They don't. You keep saying it as if like Tomlin, and I'm saying it usually that is.
That would be a question for my son-in-law, actually.
Big Rich, Big Rich, you in?
Let me see what he's doing. Hold on a second.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm serious.
But I mean,
kid knows his shit,
Charles,
man.
they do in terms of the contract. They have all the leverage in the world. There you go. Thank you, Rich. They got all the leverage in the world. He's under contract for one more season. It's their decision. If they don't want to fire him or extend him, they can do. They don't have to.
Let me tell you something right now, and this is how I feel about jobs in general. And I've actually said this: you can never stop me from quitting.
Okay.
And you can't stop me from finding another job. All right,
let me know what you found out.
But do you think Tomlin's a quitter?
All right.
I think if he doesn't get an extension and they just try and say,
he wants his legacy to in Pittsburgh to be that of a quitter?
Yeah. If you're gonna lame duck me, if you're not gonna give me an extension, then I don't want to be here.
Well,
Not
you see,
gonna go, why would he? Why would he? Why would he take it? Why would he take any scenario where
this
they're
is
gonna turn
well.
him
Look at
down?
like Bill Cowher. Who even knows if he's going to coach again? Bill Cowher. Everyone thought he was young enough. He was going to coach again. He didn't coach again. Thank you, Vinny. He didn't coach again. Tomlin may say, you know what? I agree. This will be the final year. We'll do the Swan Song. We'll do the Hail and Farewell tour. We'll do the big retirement, the big to do. You'll give me my roses and my cake on my final home game of the season, and then I'm going to go in the broadcasting.
Tomlin Crowder wasn't run out of Pittsburgh. He could have stayed.
No, that's what I'm saying. People thought he was going to coach, and he never did.
Yeah.
So, Rich,
Boys.
obviously Ravens Steelers this weekend. We know what that rivalry is. You probably want to talk smack with Charles. By the way, here the Steeler chat tomorrow. Here, Rich and Adam Steeler chat tomorrow night. Rich, how did the Steelers beat the Ravens on Sunday night?
You got the NFL to overturn DK's suspension, which was a bullshit. Which was a bullshit suspension in the first place.
Well, he didn't.
I never get to do this, but please raise your hand if you're already a division champ. Thank you.
Blind squirrel, nut. Okay, we got it. Although there's really only 3 of us on the biggest thing they've got to do is, to me, threefold, and 2 of them have more to do about the game plan than it does on the field. One, they've got to establish the run. They've got to be able to run the ball. They've got to be able to use Gainwell and Warren the way they've been using them before this past week. The other one they got to do, and yes, I realize it's easier said than done, but the Steelers usually do a halfway decent job of it, and that's to try and contain that tank that wears 22. He's gonna get his, but he doesn't need to get 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. If you can contain Henry to 80, 90 yards and a score, you should call that a win. That again is game plan. It's not as much execution as it is defensive game plan. The other part of it is that Rodgers has got to be able to open up the field. He's got to be able to use, whether it's Valdez-Scantling, whether it's Thielen, whether it's whoever, they've got to open that field up. These little 3, 4, 5-yard dink and dunk, nothing drives me crazier than when it's 3rd and 7 and you run a 5-yard route. Drives me bananas because you're giving yourself no chance.
He needs to move off from always going. I don't know what his love affair with MVS is, but like he went to MVS 3 or 4 straight times in that game the other night. It's like, dude, you've got like a guy like Adam Thielen there who can do some things if you let him, and you've got other receivers. I don't know why he's got to always have his receivers of the past, like MVS, and he just gets tunnel vision on him. Like, I get it, you trust the guy, but Thielen's a guy you should know by now with his career that you can trust him. Like, throw him the damn rock. Don't just throw it to MVS. I think that's the Steelers' biggest problem going into this passing game. Without DK, they still got a good enough passing game if Aaron Rodgers can get out of his tunnel vision and stop just looking only at MVS every time. And Richard,
I want to ask one question too that hasn't been addressed. So, is this the last time we see Aaron if they lose? And I think we're going to win. But is this it for him in Pittsburgh? I have no idea if he's going to hang it up after Sunday night or whenever those Steelers get eliminated.
Well, first off, sorry guys, my wireless is going a little crazy. Is this the last time we see Rodgers if they lose? I think that this is Rodgers' last year either way. Whether it's this Sunday's his last game, next Sunday, the Super Bowl, whatever. I really think the Steelers are going to be either in pursuit of Kyler Murray or Malik Willis, or they're going to give Will Howard his shot next year, or both, and let him compete for the starting spot.
What if they're going to do the swan song with Tomlin last year, and they convince Aaron to retire with Tomlin?
Well, that's the other part of it too. I think I would not be surprised, just from the attitude that Tomlin has had the last couple of weeks, that if they lose Sunday, that he steps down.
He retires. Okay.
I don't know that he retires. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a case where he goes. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a case where he did kind of what Vrabel did for a minute. Some of these other guys have done, where they've gone into TV for a year and then go back into coaching. Because there will be teams that would give their eye teeth, see the Giants, see Miami, to have a coach like Tomlin down there. I think McDaniels has one more year and that's it in Miami. If he doesn't get his crap straight, he's going to be out the door. Obviously the Giants need a new coach for next season.
What if Tomlin steps down and becomes the advisor in Miami for the defense?
Yeah,
that could always happen.
Could be.
Like a Robert Saleh kind of thing.
It could be. We talked about this on this show a couple of weeks ago. There's a couple of guys out there right now that I wouldn't be disappointed if they took the Steelers' job. One of them has said that he's not leaving his current position, but if the Steelers spot opened up, I think Marcus Freeman leaves Notre Dame to go to Pittsburgh if it's offered to him.
Marcus Freeman already said he's staying at Notre Dame.
I know.
Yeah,
Rich
he doesn't know
that.
he don't know the Steelers' job's open, Jamie.
How many times have we heard this in sports? Let me back Rich up here. How many times in sports have we heard, we have just signed X player to a long-term deal to make them an X player for life? Oh, right. I'll give you a great, easy example. Hockey. We have just signed Jeremy Roenick to a contract that will make sure he's a Blackhawk for life. 3 days later, we have traded Jeremy Roenick to the Coyotes for Eric Daze. How many times have we seen, I am not leaving my organization? Oh, the head coaching job over here opened up. I am now the head coach. We see it all the time.
And the other guy is Cliff Kingsbury. I think that Cliff Kingsbury would be a fantastic guy to step into the spot, especially if Kyler Murray came to the Steelers, because Kyler Murray's best play was under Kingsbury. And if he has a DK Metcalf, I don't know that he would be against it, especially if you're able to bring in a true number two to go along with Metcalf and to go along with the tight ends and that kind of stuff.
What about Brian Flores?
If all the other crap is out of the picture,
Oh, he froze. See, this is why I think, because you're starting to say if all the other crap's out of the picture, and I'm going to assume that you would say he wouldn't be against it, right? This is why I think Tomlin doesn't leave at the end of the year and gives it they do the swan song, and that gives Flores time to get his shit done with the NFL, and Flores becomes the next coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers after next season.
Hey, Jamie,
who in their right mind would turn down a job with the Pittsburgh Steelers? I don't care where I'm coaching.
Flores. I think he would.
It's guaranteed. I mean, I've been a football fan for 55 years. The Steelers have had 3 coaches in those 55 years that I've been watching football. So
I think Flores would on principle, because his lawsuit was with the NFL is that they stopped him from getting a head coaching job. So then if he accepts the head coaching job, he just tanks his lawsuit. I think he wants to see the lawsuit go through, and it's got to go to arbitration, and it's done. If it gets done before the Super Bowl, which I doubt, maybe that accelerates it. But I think this is what I was saying. That if he gets through his shit, he's tailor-made for the Steelers. The way he's a defensive-minded coach, he just reeks of Pittsburgh Steelers when you look at Flores.
Yeah.
I think Flores gets a job before this little and again, Flores is getting a job. I think could be sooner than that.
Well,
I
his
mean,
contract's up this year.
his
So
defense.
yeah, he's got either got an extension or go get a head coaching job.
This
Look,
guy,
I agree. I
he
think
might
he
be
should
the
go get
best
a head
defensive
coaching
coach in
job.
the league.
But he's had
Coordinator,
other
head coach.
opportunities. He's had other opportunities to get head coaching jobs. He's turned them all down because he's waiting on his court case. So I don't know if he just turned down 2 or 3 other head coaching jobs over the last 2 or 3 years to now go, you know what? Forget my lawsuit. I've been fighting for 4 years with the NFL. I'm just going to throw it away now because I can go coach this team. I kind of think he's at the point. He's gone through so much legal battles on this and spent so much money on it that he wants to see it through. And I think if that's why I think if Tomlin stays, the court case gets wrapped up by the end of next season. They do the big retirement ballyhoo for the man who's never had a losing season in Pittsburgh, who's going to go, guy's probably going to go to the Hall of Fame as a coach. They do the hail and farewell, big send off. The season ends. The next day, Brian Flores is named as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't see it.
I still think a lot of that has to
I
do
don't
with
see it
Sunday.
either.
And
I
Jamie,
agree, and I agree with Joe there. Like real quick, like I think the Steelers is a big trump card for a lot of. Like he's suing the NFL for not becoming a head coach. He wants to become a head coach for another 15, 16 years. You
Right.
go to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mhm.
Whatever he's
Yeah.
going to get in that lawsuit. And the Steelers have already hired him as an assistant, by the way. So keep that in mind. So they're familiar with him and all that. So I think they're not as worried about that.
I agree with a lot of
somebody
merit. There's a lot of merit, and I agree with a lot of what you said. I just think he's at the point, and maybe he tries to get the court case accelerated, the arbitration accelerated, so he can do that. But he's fought this thing for 4 years. Imagine if you fought your job for a raise for 4 years, and you put all this time and effort. Are you just going to quit right before you get there because you can go do something else?
hey, Jamie,
I've done it.
Jamie, I have a question for you. If you could pick your opponent for the Bills next week in the wild card game, out of the division champs or possible division champs, who would you want? And I mean, I'm not going to say Pittsburgh or Baltimore because chances are Buffalo won't be the 5 seed because Houston's probably not losing to Riley Leonard. Out of the New England, Jacksonville, who's the other one? Between New England and Jacksonville, who would you rather face in the wild card round?
If Stephon Diggs is out, New England.
You saying Steph Diggs just won up DK Metcalf with his ineptness off the field?
I don't think those two situations are comparable, and I don't want to get into that, but
Wow.
whatever.
Neither.
Yeah, if the Jamie, you're right, man. If Diggs isn't out there, Drake May is going to have some problems because he's got all those other injuries in that receiving core. Man, he's going to have some problems.
I don't care if Diggs is in the lineup. I'd rather play the Patriots anyway. I think the Bills match up better with them. You have an experienced team that's been in the playoffs how many years in a row against again, not to take anything away from the Patriots and Drake May, but they're the new kids on the block and, no playoff experience for the most part here. I'd take the Patriots.
You're going to
No
have
matter
two.
who's playing.
You can theoretically have, because if the Bears end up at the 2 seed and the Packers at the 7th, you're going to end up in wild card weekend with 2 division games.
Mm-hmm.
2 divisional games in the wild card weekend. How rare is that? If you get Buffalo, and it's a rubber match for both. In both cases, it's a rubber match.
Right.
In both cases, their teams are 1-1 against each other. Now in the Bears Packers, they each won at home, but in the AFC side, they each won away. So home field is not necessarily an advantage for New England with Buffalo. So I actually, they're in the same boat I am. Do you want to see your division rival again for the 3rd time in such a close period of time in the season, or do you want to see someone else? I mean, I have to be thinking that in both cases, all 4 fan bases are looking for rematch. So I think in both wild card weekends, you want to see a 2 and 7 seed where it's divisional opponents. The NFL wants to see that. Personally, I don't want to see that because I wanted some separation between my division rival, at least another week of separation. But
Joe, guess what?
What's
It'll
that?
be the rubber match of Drake and Josh. Get it like the Nickelodeon show, Drake and Josh.
Help me, brother.
There he
you know what's funny? It'll be the rubber match for Caleb and Jordan, who are 2-2 against each other lifetime.
Yeah, there
Caleb
you go. Now,
and Jordan
Dylan, is
didn't
it
have
possible?
a Nickelodeon show like Drake and Josh did.
Is it possible to get a Houston-Jacksonville first round match or no?
Let me look.
It is if the Colts beat the Texans. And
right now, Jacksonville is the 3 seed. The Chargers are the 6 seed. So the games would go New England, Buffalo, Jacksonville, Chargers. If the Steelers keep it, well, the winner of that division. So the AFC North against the Texans.
Okay,
that's the one team I wouldn't want to play. That's the one team I wouldn't want to play. Is that team?
And you might have to play them next week.
Yeah.
Now look,
they are
you've got.
joke.
Hey, Bear fan, Ken, I've got one for you. Would you rather play if you had to choose between one of these two teams, would you rather play the Philadelphia Eagles, the team that put up 17 yards against Jamie and Joe's Bills in the second half on Sunday, or the LA Rams? Oh, what happened to the LA Rams last night? Because Bijan's still running.
Okay, well, real quick, the AFC side, all three wild cards have 11 wins. So I'll just say that. We'll leave that. We'll see what happens this week. And now, this question you just asked me, it's not possible to have an either or in the first round, because Philly now.
Excuse me, not the Eagles. Sorry, my mistake. Would you rather have, if you had to choose between the Rams or the Packers?
Okay, yeah. So if the Bears go to the 3 seed, if they lose and the Rams win or the Eagles win, if that scenario happens, with the Bears lost and the Eagles win, we go to the 3 seed, and then we played the Rams, right? And I don't think, we played the Rams. I don't really care either way. To be honest with you, it makes no difference at all to me whatsoever. Whoever's coming to Soldier Field. And if the Rams come to Soldier Field, you hear a warm weather team from LA going to Chicago in January. That's all you're going to hear all week. Look, with Matt Stafford, that's never been a good argument. I could care less if it's the Rams or none of these teams scare me. None of these teams scare me as the Bears fan. I could care less who I play. I'm playing with house money at this point. I was 5-12 last year. I'm king of the fucking North this year. People said we were stupid, delusional, brain dead morons for even thinking we could be a dark horse. And I'm the king of the North, clinched in week 16. So I could care less who we play. It's all house money bonus for me. We've already beaten the Eagles. We've beaten a lot of good teams. Can we beat the Rams? Yeah. I mean, if you look at the game we just played against San Francisco, what a shootout. Set an NFL record, by the way. Tied at 7, tied at 14, tied at 21, tied at 28, tied at 35. First time in NFL history it's ever happened in a regular season game. We know they can do a shootout. We know that when Dennis Allen wants to be creative, he can get some defense going. We can take the ball away. Stafford can throw picks. We know that. Caleb doesn't throw picks. We know that. So, I mean, none of it scares me, and I don't care which team we get, to be honest. It's going to be a home game at Soldier Field. It doesn't matter. If we get the 2 seed, it's a home game all the way maybe to the NFC Championship, and then maybe we go to Santa Clara for 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
At Soldier Field in Indiana, maybe.
Yeah, I don't care about that either. I think that's a smart move by the Bears, man. I mean, look, if Packer fans are talking shit about, the Gary Bears. Dude, I was around the 80s when they threatened to move the Gary. This is the situation real quick. We'll touch it. We can leave it alone. This whole thing that Warren put out where they're exploring Lake County, which is, by the way, is the county House Hall resides in, and Gary, Indiana, for building the new stadium, because Cook County, which is where Arlington Heights and the city of Chicago reside in, have decided they now don't want to play ball, and they want to take away all the tax credits and the tax breaks and all the stuff that makes things possible for this multi-billion-dollar project that happened in Arlington Heights. And the Bears said, fine, we can go look elsewhere. You can lose the money. And if you want to run us out of the state, we'll look at Gary because this governor of Indiana already said we'll give you whatever we want. Here's some land in Gary. You can build on it. We'll give you money for it. We're going to give you tax breaks. We're going to give you whatever the hell you want. And you know what? It's going to be a little further drive for the fans because 70% or so of the season ticket holders live in a Northwest burb. So it'll be like a 2-hour drive to get to the stadium now through the city.
That was my question. How far is it actually from Chicago?
So Gary, so if you're living in the Northwest burbs like Arlington Heights, Buffalo Grove, Wheeling, Palatine, that kind of area, it'll take you about 2 hours to get there because you got to go through the city, then you got to take the Sky Toll, and with traffic, it's going to take you 2 or 3 hours to get to the game. Maybe even if you take like 294, you go to 80 and cut across, whatever. It's going to take you a while. You're going to pick up more fans going to the game from the south side and out from Indiana. So, there'll be some give and take there. Now, if they build in Lake County, okay, so where Arlington Heights is in Cook County, but you're about 15 miles from the county line with Lake County, which is where Hallis Hall resides in Lake County. You could build it by Naval Station, Great Lakes. And now for a lot of your fans, it's actually not much further. It's a little bit further, but not a huge inconvenience compared to Arlington Heights. And you could put it by NAS Great Lakes. You could put it out by Gurnee. So now you can pull in people from Milwaukee and pull from the Packer base. There's a lot of opportunity there. And Lake County said they'll play. The state of Illinois already said it won't. But I think the Bears are already willing to accept that the state of Illinois was going to do nothing. But as long as the county and the town did something, they were cool with it. And I think it goes a step further. I think if they move it to Gary, they're going to shut Hallis Hall down, and they're going to move Hallis Hall to Gary as well. And they're going to move the whole kit and caboodle to Gary. So not only will they lose the stadium in Illinois, they'll lose the practice facility, the offices, and all the players that live in that part of town are now going to move closer to Gary, Indiana. So there's
who would have believed Indiana would have two NFL teams?
Well, that's just it. They understand how much revenue it's going to raise for them, because it's not just the football team. With this stadium, it's NCAA Final Fours, NCAA College Championship games, WWE WrestleMania events, Monster Truck Bowls, Euros Tour, whatever you want to put in there all year. It's a constant money maker. And they realize the amount of tax revenue it's going to raise year round in sales tax, hotel tax, food, everything else that people are going to do there, tourism. And they're like, yeah, whereas Cook County is bending to the knee of Chicago, who got their feelings hurt because they didn't want to do anything to retain the Bears, and said, well, you're just going to be the Bears because we said so. And they said, no, we don't have to play in Chicago if you're going to treat us like crap. They were like the abusive boyfriend, the city was. So they're like, we're just going to leave you. And now they're trying to get their best friend to harass the ex. And so they're saying, well, we can just leave altogether, so you can't even look at us anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a situation that the city that Mayor Johnson and Governor Pritzker have created for the Bears. Not only are they running citizens out of the state of Illinois, they're about to run the oldest football teams in the NFL out of the state of Illinois.
40 years ago, you would have said, can you believe we got two teams in New Jersey?
Yeah. And there's precedents, right? The Giants and the Jets don't play in New York. They play in New Jersey. The Giants don't play in San Francisco.
Well, the Cowboys don't play in Dallas.
Yeah.
And the Bills don't play in Buffalo. They play in Orchard Park.
Yeah. So, I mean, and look, Gary, Indiana is still going to be off the lake. I kind of know the area where they want to put it. It's in the stadium site is going to be right off water. Yeah. It's by a big plant, but it's going to look good if they do it there. And Binion's Horseshoe Casino is like right down the road. Oh yeah, it's going to be big money for the state of Indiana if they put it there. They're going to make money. Think about it. Not only do you have two NFL franchises in Indiana, you also have the Fighting Irish in Indiana. That's a lot of revenue this state's making off sports.
From Michael Jackson Stadium in Gary, Indiana, this is the home of Super Bowl 71.
Who's going to ask a question here?
Yeah.
Joe, did you make it over to the lake to get any good pictures?
Did I make it over to the lake?
Yeah, to get any good
what?
pictures of all these waves.
No, I'm about a half hour from the lake, so I didn't.
Yeah,
I had no interest in going out in a blizzard to try to do that.
I just want to say hi, everybody. My computer was all balled up. That's why I'm late as shit. I called Rich right before. I'm like, I'm ready to break these things, and it magically turned on. Anyway, how's everyone doing tonight?
Doing great. Good to see you.
Good.
Adam, I've got a question. If the Steelers lose to the Ravens on Sunday night,
Which they are.
I see you up there.
how frustrated are you going to be at DK Metcalf for going off the deep end and getting himself suspended?
These are things I expect.
If it wasn't him, it would have been Pickens.
I tell you what, and this is gonna sound weird coming from me, but too many of you Steelers fans sound like the two of you. This Steelers swagger is just not there, man. This is what Thomas Job is in trouble, man. This week I would have had people cussing me out and yelling at me, and every time I talk to a Steelers fan, they sound. I mean, that's where a coaching change is needed. Y'all are just too many of y'all sound like y'all, man.
You also got to look at it, Raph. Think about it from this standpoint. Your number one receiver is out. Your number one tight end is out, which is two of your three biggest offensive threats. Those are both out. You don't know if your best defensive player is going to play. Now, Alex Highsmith has gone way over and above and has played tremendous all year, but he ain't TJ Watt. So if you have no TJ Watt, no Darnell Washington, no DK Metcalf, and you're sitting there and going, okay, now we've got to play Baltimore, who just ran completely roughshod the week before, and you're sitting there going, okay, now what do we do? Because normally when we go into a game with you guys, we figure especially at home, we got a shot. We're going to win that game. We're going into it that we're going to win that game. This one, legitimately, no questions asked, with the pieces that are missing, I do not know one Steeler fan that would tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt they're 100% confident that we're beating you guys Sunday. They're not.
They're the underdog.
Especially with the fact that
I don't remember.
Especially with the fact that your backup is playing better than 3/4 of the quarterbacks in football right now.
No, wait.
Stu Huntley has played really well.
No.
Lamar's spot.
He did. Stu Huntley made like one or two throws the other night. Green Bay defense didn't even want to be out and tackle Derrick Henry in the cold the other night. But
how many mistakes did Snoop Huntley make?
Huntley is an elite backup. When Huntley goes into the Ravens, they don't even change their game plan because he's Lamar 2. Right. He's Lamar 1B. I mean, look,
that's what I'm saying.
Malik Willis. So I'll throw Tyson Bagent in there. You throw in the
Tyson Bagent. What?
He hasn't had to play in 2 years, but I have full confidence from what we've seen when Bagent did come in 2 years ago, and he took the Bears and got some wins when Fields couldn't. Yeah,
they just
Dylan.
Gave him an extension.
They gave him an extension. So yeah, Dylan. But there's 5 or 6 teams that have backup quarterbacks where you're like, okay, if their starter goes on, you're confident their backup can win. And then you've got that next tier where if their starter goes down, Malik is one of them, and the guy in Baltimore is the other. We're like, it's in some cases, you may even argue it's better.
What about
the fan bases argue whether they should keep one or the other?
Am I crazy for saying this? But the best backup in the league this year right now is in Santa Clara, 100%, not even close. Mac Jones.
No, I would say
Mac Jones.
But the thing you got to look at too, man, there are at least 2, possibly 4 backups right now in the NFL that could start for 4 or 5 other teams right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There is no possible way you can't tell me Malik Willis starts for the Jets. You can't tell me.
Dolphins.
You could
Matt.
tell me that Tyler Huntley wouldn't start for the Jets. Can't do it. It's impossible.
And Mac Jones, he's playing with Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan makes everything look good. Jimmy Garoppolo got $100 million. He makes the only one he couldn't mastermind was Trey Lance. Other than that, every guy he puts out there looks to halfway decent.
Trey
Blake
Lance
Gabbert
got
even
hurt.
looked
I mean, that wasn't
halfway
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance may be the most overrated quarterback to come out in the last 15 years.
I actually have one more overrated. Johnny Football. Johnny Manziel.
No. Johnny Manziel's problem was he was the prototypical of what I talk about. $1 million from the neck down, 10 cents from the neck up. The dude was supposed to be the guest picker 2 weeks ago on game day and was at the Jake Paul fight the night before and missed it. What in the bluest of blue hells was he possibly thinking? I mean, there's stupid. And then there's really stupid. And that's where Johnny Manziel fit in on that stage. I mean, come on. No, thank God. I don't remember who it was they brought in. I know they brought somebody in. There was like a very last second guy to come in and take it. It was another A&M guy, obviously, to come in and fill in for Manziel that they got at like the 11th hour, threw him in there and did a nice job from what I gather. But how stupid.
Kellen Mond.
Thank you. But it's just like, come on, man.
And by the way, speaking of Aaron Glenn, one more to everyone. Did the Jets fire Aaron Glenn, whether it be after the game or on Black Monday?
They shouldn't.
You're hearing a lot of talk out there how the ownership likes them, and they want to give him a chance and give him a couple years.
The owner already said that the GM and Aaron Glenn are coming back for season 2. They said it yesterday.
I'll be right back.
If they make a decent series of moves, I think they'll be all right. But
the Jets haven't picked off a pass in Super Bowl III.
Well, I did come up with something.
I have a trivia question.
Okay, and I got a group project. So go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
All right, most losses of all 4 major league teams in the 21st century. Who are the leaders?
That's actually the one that I was doing.
Really?
The lowest winning percentage in the 4 major sports in the 2000s. There are 10 teams that are under 400.
I have just 4.
There's
teams
10
with the
teams
most
that are
losses in the 21st century.
Jets.
Major League Baseball only, or all 4 sports?
Major League, NBA, NHL.
Okay,
NFL.
see, I have the 10 that are under 40%.
The Lions for sure. They had a year. They didn't win
No,
anything.
they're not.
Who are the Cleveland Browns? The Cleveland Browns.
They are.
Cleveland Browns are there.
200.
Are we talking about all-time losing percentage or
No,
just one season?
Since
2000.
2000.
No, I'm just
Or the
talking.
New York
Oh,
Jets.
Me and Rich have 2 totally different questions.
Yeah, Adam's got a completely different question. Go ahead.
My question is, who has the most losses in the 21st century for all 4 major league sports?
New York Jets.
Like the most
And
losses in the
Dylan
NFL, the most losses in the
Dylan started
NBA,
it
the most
off
losses.
with the Cleveland Browns, and that is correct. At 275 losses.
Buffalo Sabres.
No.
New York Jets.
No. We already got football, Joe.
Oh, okay.
Phoenix Coyotes, I think, are the hockey team.
The who?
Arizona
Washington
Coyotes.
Bullets.
Well,
I could
sorry, I
believe
called
it.
it Phoenix. The Washington
Well,
Bullets.
I had
Wow.
Wizards, Joe. So I don't know. I don't know how that corresponds.
It's the Wizards. It's just like their
same
teams are
team.
the
The Washington
Redskins.
Bullets wasn't the 21st century. It was in the 21st.
I know, but
Well,
they'll always be the Bullets to me, just like
Yeah.
they'll always be the
It's-
Redskins.
Formerly
Yeah, it's the
Baltimore
Redskins,
Bullets.
Adam,
One
Adam,
thousand.
can I take a wild guess for baseball? The
Let me finish.
Pittsburgh
Hold on.
Pirates.
Let me finish this one. The Wizards have lost 1,212 games.
Oh Lord,
But the Sabres weren't in there.
And
So we
Dylan,
got
it is
football.
not the Pittsburgh Pirates.
No, it's not the Pirates.
Miami Marlins.
It is not the Marlins.
Montreal Expos.
No.
In the 21st century, buddy.
They
Oh.
were in the 21st century until 2005.
Oh,
They're
God.
not on.
Colorado Rockies.
Colorado
They're
Rockies.
not on. They're not it.
They're pretty bad.
Oakland A's.
Who?
Oakland Athletics.
Not the
The-
Oakland Athletics.
Yeah.
Okay.
White Sox?
Not the White Sox either. I thought it was the White Sox myself. That was
They
Baltimore
won the World
Orioles.
Series in 2005.
Orioles.
I understand that, but they've sucked every year besides that.
Orioles
It's
are
not
Royals.
Baltimore. It's not Baltimore.
Reds.
Not the Reds.
They were good for two years, but what about the Royals?
It is the Royals.
Wow.
Ding 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 ding.
The Toronto Blue Jays. before they
2,291 losses
Jeez.
With a World Series in there. Wow.
with a World Series.
Two
in
of
there.
them.
That's awful.
They
I
won
thought it
one
was.
and
I
played
thought it was gonna be
another
the
one.
Pirates for sure. Now we're on the hockey.
Who the hell could it be?
Blue Jackets.
Who?
Blue Jackets. Columbus.
Yes, you are correct.
Wow.
Ding ding ding.
874 losses.
Because I don't
Well
ever
played,
remember them
Joe.
being any good.
They had like 2 playoff years, I can remember.
Don't remind me
Yarmo,
of
now
one.
with Joe, remember I told you our GM now, Yarmo Kekalainen, they made the playoffs 5 times in from 2019 to 2024 with
You
Columbus.
doing? You clean it up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow.
He's the Sabres GM
Okay.
now. That's how I know this.
Okay, guys. So this is a derivation of what Adam was doing. Since 2000, in the 4 major sports, there are 10 teams who have an under 400 winning percentage. You guys following me?
Mm-hmm.
Who are they?
I already guessed the Browns.
Browns is 1, yes.
Jets.
No, we already did football.
Jets is 2.
This
Well, no, there's more than 1.
This could be any
All 4
combination.
major sports.
Giants.
All 4 major sports, low 40% winning percentage. The
Who are
Giants,
the-
Jamie, that is right. Yeah, you're right, Jamie.
Who are the Pittsburgh Pirates?
No. Amazingly enough, there are no baseball teams.
Okay, that
Wow.
answers my.
Sabres.
The Sabres are on this list, yes.
Who
Not
are
recently.
the Washington Wizards?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
Okay, who are the
Just
New
missed.
Orleans Pelicans?
They also just missed.
Okay,
New York Knicks.
no.
No.
What about the Sacramento Kings?
No. Although very nice play on words there. I like that.
The Detroit Pistons.
That would be another one.
Oh,
So we have 5. We have the New York Jets, the Detroit Pistons, the New York Giants, the Cleveland Browns, and the Buffalo Sabres. There are 5 more.
who are the Jacksonville Jaguars?
That would be one of them, yes.
Oh.
Really?
There is
Jamie.
one more NFL team, 1 more NBA team. I'm sorry. 2 more NFL teams, 1 more NBA team, 1 more NHL team.
Who are the Tennessee Titans?
No.
Yeah,
I
they
was
were
gonna say
good
the
for a while.
Atlanta Falcons.
Cincinnati
No.
Bengals.
Arizona Cardinals.
No and no.
How about the Vancouver Canucks?
Oh,
No.
that's good.
Vancouver went to a Stanley Cup final.
Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah, what's
That's the NHL team.
The Coyotes.
Who is it?
The
Arizona.
Coyotes.
Coyotes.
Or the Mammoth.
Who are the Rich? Who are the Brooklyn Nets?
No.
When they were in New Jersey, they were bad until they moved to Brooklyn.
I'll tell you what. Look to my immediate left on the screen.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Bears.
Oh, there you go.
We have one more NFL and one more NBA.
The Chicago Bears.
I'm really surprised you guys haven't gotten the NFL one yet.
Did somebody say the
Carolina.
Lions?
Is it the Carolina Panthers?
They did not,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
no on Carolina.
Okay. Lions?
Oh,
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
The Giants.
They're
Washington.
We already did the Giants. Giants.
Miami Dolphins.
Say again?
Who are the Miami Dolphins?
No. You guys want a hint?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm checked up.
Okay, both teams are in the eastern part of the country.
What's the question again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
The Washington Commanders.
No.
Washington Commanders is one. We got one. We got the NBA team left. What we're doing, Ken, you got 10
Charlotte?
teams since 2000. There are 10 teams that have an under 400 winning percentage combined.
What
And we're
about
going through.
Charlotte?
There's one
The
NBA
Bobcats.
team left.
I got it. Yeah, the Hornets.
No,
Ooh.
It's not the Bobcats, not Charlotte.
not Charlotte Bobcats. No. Although you're in the right area of the
Who are
country.
the Atlanta Hawks?
Memphis
No,
has got to be
still-
what you're saying.
Still right
Memphis
area of the
Grizzlies.
country.
Memphis Grizzlies.
No.
Not
No.
Pistons.
Oh, the Magic. Fudge my poo.
The Orlando
The
Magic.
Orlando Magic.
Wow.
So
Orlando
it's the
Magic.
Jaguars, the Jaguars, the Jets, the Pistons, the Giants, the Browns, Magic, Sabres, Coyotes, Bears, and Commanders.
I've got a question, guys. We all play fantasy football. Some of us play DFS, and one of us plays DK Best Ball. And you know me, I played 150 lines.
Are you
I
in
don't know if
any
you saw.
finals?
I don't know if you saw X.
Are you in any finals?
Yes, and I'm going to show
So
you.
you're
let me
playing for
see
$1
if I
million
can-
right now?
Not exactly, but I'm going to show you. Let me see, Mike. I'm going to show you exactly how much I won, Adam. 15,000.
$42.12. Nice. hit.
Very funny, Rich. This
Hey, Rich,
was
just trying to be precise.
I actually won.
I finished 72nd in the DK Best Ball Millie Maker, good for 15 grand.
Nice.
Nice hit.
That's awesome.
I'd be jumping for fucking joy.
I
I
didn't
actually
even
won 18 cents one time on a DK football one. It was a $3 game. There were so many ties at the one point. I won 18 cents.
I don't know what to do with 15 grand now. I have no idea what to do with 15 grand now.
I
gotta
told
pay
you
for
what to do
StreamYard for
earlier.
the year. You can pay for StreamYard for the year. That'd be great. That would help me out.
Get some Jag season tickets for next year.
Whatever you want, brother, for 15 grand.
Heck,
You
I might
can
get
pay
a
off
limo.
StreamYard for the
I
year
might
so we
get a
can always
limo
go
and
run.
Owen Bowl tickets tomorrow on Thursday because
Or go to the
tickets
playoff
are-
game.
Oh,
I'm trying to be productive here. Like Dylan, you could pay off StreamYard for the year, and that'd be great.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
It's,
or you could pay
Look at
for
you
my
trying to do
Orange
something.
Bowl tickets, Adam.
no, I'd rather have
considering-
StreamYard paid off so we could do this every month, every day.
Well, I mean, you want to go see
Anyway.
my team kick the crap out of Oregon? That's cool. You can get tickets to that game as cheap as $47 right now on SeatGeek.
Wow.
And I'm 2 hours away.
The most expensive tickets on SeatGeek right now are row 1W at the 45-yard line on the Oregon side, $844 a piece.
Wow. Not to break it in, can I go off on a tangent, please? Please. Hey, college football. Why the bleep all these quarterfinal games taking place in NFL stadiums? Nobody wants to freaking attend 3 or 4 games in neutral sites. These games should be in Bloomington, Lubbock, Columbus, and Athens, Georgia. Give me a freaking break. I understand why, and trust me, I've been to 2 Orange Bowls. They're great, but these games should be 1,000% on college campuses. The fact that Texas Tech can't host a freaking playoff game in Lubbock, and Texas Tech and Oregon are flying across the country playing Miami. Get this. If Oregon keeps winning, guess what? The Ducks are going to be in Miami, Atlanta, and Miami. You're telling me Duck fans want to travel 3 times across the country in 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Hell no.
Getting into these playoff games, they know that these 4 games right now are all bowl games, major bowl games. So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, they're all. That's how they get the major bowl games in.
There's no more major bowl games except for these 4 playoff games, and that's the Orange, the Rose, and I don't even know the other.
Orange, the Rose, the Sugar,
Cotton.
I think you also picked out the exception to the rule. They generally try and get it close to, the Sugar Bowl, like the Big Ten. They got a Rose Bowl team. The Sugar Bowl.
Well, then, if that were the case, why is Indiana playing in Pasadena, California, and not somewhere closer to campus?
It's the Rose Bowl.
Because they won
the Rose Bowl.
Always goes to the Rose Bowl.
Big Ten.
They won this.
The Big Ten always
for the Rose Bowl.
That's why.
Yep.
These playoff games are not meant to be home games.
I agree with you more in basketball. That's the case. College basketball, that's absolutely right. Nobody goes to these neutral site and all that other stuff. In football, I think these bowl games are still around for a reason. They still actually draw. You'll have fans at these games, and it'll be big.
You'll have them, yeah. But I think if you're a top 4 team in the country, you should have a home game. What they should have done would have been to make those 4 games last weekend the bowl games and give the home games to Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State, and Georgia.
I mean, Oregon got
and made those the 4 games last week the bowl games.
I mean, Oregon got flat screwed. Not only did they have to play Ohio State again last year, but Oregon couldn't even play at home. Oregon played Ohio State in Pasadena. There were probably more Ohio State fans.
Once again, it's playoff football, and they know where to go.
Right, and the other part too is just like in the NFL, you have teams that have fan bases and travel better than others. Ohio State is one of those. They could play on the moon, and they're going to have a huge contingent of Ohio State fans there. Oregon, not quite as much. Michigan, a Miami, a Texas, a Georgia, they're going to have fans wherever they're playing at. So it doesn't matter where. But,
Alabama.
It would have been better to have the home games this round and bowl games last round at neutral sites.
Wait a minute, Dylan. What do you think they create these games for college students to go to? Do you really think that's what they do? They create these bowl games in these playoff scenarios because the guys who are going to spend money are the alumni with deep pockets who are going to spend tons of money, and the NCAA rakes all in, cuts the schools a nice paycheck. These bowl games aren't for students to go to. They're to make money.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, but we saw the atmospheres in College Station and Norman. Those games were crazy. I mean,
no one cares about that. It's about making the money. They don't care about the atmosphere. They don't care if it's Enter Sandman at Virginia Tech or Virginia Tech's playing at the Rose Bowl. They're going to make them more money at the Rose Bowl than they are at Virginia Tech.
I don't think most of the bowl games make money, except for the ones they're having. I don't think I don't know how much interest I ever had in the Independence Bowl. or the Sun Bowl or
TV rights,
till you-
naming rights,
not till
merchandising
you got to New
rights.
Year's Day.
Really, Notre Dame didn't have entrance in the Citrus Bowl, the Pop Tart Bowl, or the Alamo Bowl, or the Sun Bowl, or the
Yeah, like
Holiday
get a check.
Bowl, or the Fenway Bowl, whatever bowl it is. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
In any case, I've got a
All right,
question.
if we're going to transition, I'm going to head out here real quick. Again, always
Okay.
good talking to you guys. Happy New Year, and we'll do it
Happy
again
New Year,
soon.
Joe.
Oh,
Happy
boy.
New Year, Joe.
Here, Joe.
You too.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, I've got a question for you guys.
Shoot your shit.
We're gonna play hypothetical. Would you between quarterbacks for playoff or potential playoff matchups? Would you rather have either one of these starting quarterbacks? And I'm going to start off with potentially the game of the year in the NFC West. Would you rather have Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy?
Purdy.
Purdy all day.
Purdy.
Why
Brock
would you
Purdy.
want someone that? Why would you want someone that fails in prime time every time?
Sam Darnold just won the Rams game Thursday night. That was prime time.
Thank you, Jamie. And you know what? Here's what I would say. Brock Purdy was great because the Chicago Bears didn't lay a sneeze on him. He's not going to have that clean of a pocket on Saturday night. I think Sam. I think I would take Sam. Sam's bigger arm, just as athletic. I think if we were doing a draft right
He
now,
crack.
He fits Seattle.
Are you seriously
perfectly
Are you
with that
seriously
offense.
saying this shit right now? You'd
I'm-
rather
I
have
know
Sam
Sam
Darnold
Darnold
who
better
sucks
than-
in prime time?
Sam Darnold
absolutely-
fits that offense with Seattle. He does.
He
Well, look,
absolutely
it's not like the
blows it.
Bears did anything creative or exotic, or the defense this week was pretty plain Jane against the Niners. They were content with playing this be a shootout.
Well,
okay.
Purdy the last several weeks has been what Purdy can be when he's healthy. He's shown what he can do with that team. He makes plays. He is accurate with his throws, and he makes smart plays. He's done that all the way back to Iowa State. Darnold has a tendency to get fidgety, has a tendency that if one thing goes wrong, it snowballs. And in a game like what's going to be played on Saturday, San Francisco can force that one mistake. And when it does, it's going to lead to a second one, and a third one, and a fourth one. And that's why, give me Purdy, anytime, but especially in this game.
Okay, next one. Would you rather have Drake May or Justin Herbert?
Drake May.
Right now, Justin Herbert.
I think I would take Herbert. You know what quarterbacks do in their first playoff start? Not very much. I mean, Herbert, well,
That's not the reason.
Herbert also the Chargers blew a 27-0 lead, but that wasn't because Herbert called the plays.
But you're missing the point, Dylan.
Yes.
Look at the target. Look at who Drake May has to throw to. Look at what Drake May has for weapons right this second. He basically has his fourth and fifth receivers if this whole Stephon Diggs thing goes haywire. And he's got two tight ends that one of them can't catch a cold this year for whatever reason. And Justin Herbert's walking out there with three top-notch receivers and a tight end that has really blossomed in his rookie season.
If only
and you're going to tell me that the weaponry doesn't mean you would rather be Justin Herbert than Drake May right this second?
I think I would take.
Now,
Herbert.
all things being equal, everybody being healthy, Drake May.
Yeah, here's the other problem with that. All great points. How good has Herbert been in the playoffs? I haven't seen anything from him in the play. He kind of gets a pass. He has not played well in the playoffs, and I don't know. We don't know if Drake May will, but I've seen Herbert. I not play well in the playoffs. Not play well. You talk about Darnold not playing well in these games. Herbert still has to show me something in some of these games.
You know who could be the big difference for the Chargers offense in this game in a game against in the playoffs? Marion Hampton. Because he didn't have Herbert hasn't had a running game. He's had Dan Marino syndrome. He hasn't had a running game. If Marion Hampton can make a presence of himself and Kamani Vidal is healthy and they can run the ball and open up the passing game, I think you're going to see Herbert really blossom. But if Herbert has to throw the ball 40, 45 times, you're going to see the same thing you've seen before, Rav, and it ain't going to be good, I don't think.
Sorry. I got one for you. Would you rather have? Wait, let me see.
That was a tough one. That was a last that card. That was hard.
Would you rather have? I got one. Would you rather have CJ Stroud or Bo Nix?
Nix.
This is tough because both quarterbacks have been recipients of great defensive plays by their team.
Bo Nix.
This year, I think Nix. It's a tough one, but I think I'd go with Nix.
Bo Nix.
I'm going to say Bo Nix. Bo Nix, I think the thing is, I think what I've been saying about him, he's not good at all four quarters, but he's good in the fourth. He's always really good down the stretch.
Nix
You're going to
before
need that
checks.
in the playoffs. Yeah. What he
Bo
just said.
Nix picks up a lot of checks. Let's go.
Well,
Bo
I mean,
Nix gets the checks.
It kind of goes back to something that I said whenever he was about to get drafted. He's the most pro-ready quarterback that was in that draft, walking out day one. I stand by that, and he's proven that. And I think that the way that he's blossomed this year, the way that Peyton is working with him, and the way that he's handled that offense, no matter who they've played. Yeah, I mean, I think his character and his ability to handle himself is tremendously huge. But I got one for you guys. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Okay, I got one for you guys. With this new way they got this thing laid out, I got to figure out how to add this thing. But anyway.
What you got?
Here we go. I got it. Image file. Here we go. Okay. So, as we sit right this second, the 2026 Pro Football Hall of Fame finalists have been announced. Now, we all know two of them are obvious. Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald. Am I safe in saying this with all of us?
Yeah.
Any objections to those two guys?
No.
None here.
Okay. Now, in their infinite wisdom / stupidity, they have to put 5 guys in every year, whether they deserve it or not. So, out of the other 13, can we get a yay, nay on Willie Anderson? Just go around the room. Dylan?
No.
Hall of very good. Hall of very
Does
good.
anybody say yes to Willie Anderson?
No.
I didn't think so. Does anybody say yes to Jari Evans?
No.
I didn't think so either. This is one that's a little controversial. I know it's a no from me, but Frank Gore.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
I say no.
Any special reason why yes, guys? What was it, Jamie and Ken that said yes?
You
I mean,
say
early-
longevity doesn't get you into the Hall of Fame, but it's a position where people don't last that long, and he did as a running back. To play 20 years as a running back is nobody. Emmett couldn't even do that.
And it's not just that, but early on in his career, he was pretty darn dominant.
He was.
So, and he was still productive at the end. Yeah, he wasn't dominant the last decade, but he was still highly productive enough to keep making NFL rosters and be a positive impact. So, I think he might be the last guy to get into this class, but I think he might get it.
Okay, but because he made rosters doesn't mean he deserves to get into the Hall of Fame.
No, he made rosters and made impact.
Because if you look at his career, and this has been one of the things that I've talked about forever in 3 days, he made 5 Pro Bowls, and I realize Pro Bowls are like getting a bag of Skittles. It's not worth that much, but 5 times in his career, he made the Pro Bowl. That's it. 5 times.
Considering most running backs in this league don't even last 5 years, and he made 5 Pro Bowls and played for 20 for the current running back. Yeah,
Exactly.
He broke 1,500 yards once.
okay.
He broke 1,200 twice. That's it. Yes, he has 16,000 yards he has 16,000 yards in 16 years. He averaged 60 yards a game. At no point in time was he ever a top 5 running back in football. So that's where here's another one that I think is going to have some dispute too. Torrey Holt. Anybody?
Yay.
Yes.
I think he should get in, but
No, I say
no on him too.
I say no.
That's
I
a tough
say
one.
Any reasoning, guys? Why he should get in?
Torrey Holt, greatest show on turf. I mean, not just a number 1 receiver, but a number 1 receiver for a decade plus.
Him and Isaac Bruce, yeah.
I don't think he was the best receiver on his team. I think there's more knowledge required.
Well,
consider his
I never
teammates
thought that.
already in the Hall of Fame. That doesn't mean you can't have both guys in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Well, no, there's no argument about that, but we're going to talk about somebody else here in a couple minutes that if you put one in, you got to put both in. Okay? But next on the list, Luke Kuechly.
yes,
Anybody?
yes.
Kuechly's
Yes.
tough because he cut his career. He's like an Andrew Luck, right? He cuts his career short. 8 years in the league, massive impact. But I mean, it's hard because he cut his career so short. I don't know. He might get in. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in eventually, but I don't know if it's a first ballot.
Well, here's something I can tell you. Okay. He had 8 years in the league. He was first team All-Pro 6 out of those 8 years. The 2 that he wasn't, he was second team All-Pro. Was defensive rookie of the year and defensive player of the year, and came in 3rd again as a defensive player of the year. So resume, short career or not, that's called a dominant player for a 8-year period. So
Patrick Willis 2.0.
I think everybody's right on the yes end of things, whether it's this year or not.
Right.
I vote yes on
I'm gonna-
him. Plus, also,
I'm gonna-
the Panthers were as good as they've ever been the whole time. I've noticed that with him, the team got worse when he left, and still really never. Yeah, that was the thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm going to skip the guy in the middle because I know that's going to have the most controversy attached to it. But
Lies.
Rav, fire away. Rav. Terrell Suggs.
It's hard for me to say. I don't think he'll get in, but of course I vote yes on Terrell Suggs. I think he was the best past 15 years as a pass rusher, rookie of the year, 10 plus sacks several times. Defensive Player of the Year, the best pass rusher on the best defensive team for a long time. So I say yes. I don't think he gets in though.
Everybody else?
Yes.
No, you can't get him in without Briggs. I think him and Briggs are the same. You don't get one without the other. Briggs and T Sizzle, they're both the 1B to their 1As who both went in the Hall of Fame together in the class of 18. I think really those two they go in together because without Urlacher, without Lewis, those two may not have the career. And look at Briggs, 7 straight Pro Bowlers, 100 greatest Bears of all time. He deserves just as much as Suggs do. I think they're both the same guy though. Like if one gets in, the other gets in. They should both go in together.
Well, and now remember, guys, we're only putting 3 more for this year. We're focusing on this year. Adam Vinatieri, yay, nay.
Right off the bat, he's the first ballot
for this year. Okay.
Without the question.
Anybody else?
When a guy is the best player at his position all time, he gets in. Vinatieri is the greatest kicker of all time.
Well, I mean, yeah, but Devin Hester was, but he had to wait a year. So, look, I say he should get in, right? But unless the Hall changes its view on special teams, he may have to actually wait a year. But he should be a first ballot.
Hester should have got in my opinion. Greatest punt returner of all time. Yeah.
Now, we talked about Torrey Holt before. Reggie Wayne. He's B to Marvin Harrison's A, just like Holt was B to Isaac Bruce's A.
Yeah, I think Reggie Wayne might get in, but maybe not this year. I'm trying to think who my first ballots are right now. Hold on. My first ballots, I've got Breeze. I've got Fitz.
Not this year.
Or maybe.
Does anyone think Kevin Williams gets in this year?
No.
I didn't think so. Jason Witten.
Yes.
I agree 100%. And to be honest with you, the guy next to him should already be there. Darren Woodson.
I vote no to Witten. Woodson, I hear you. Woodson, I think it's about time he gets in.
No to Witten. Why no to Witten? Just out of curiosity.
Never really won. Cowboys never really won. I think that kind of matters more to me on offense, like for a guy that never really. When was he the best tight end in the NFL? At what point was he the best?
Oh,
what time did he? When did he lead the?
When was he the best? The minute he got drafted, he was one of the best.
The best.
The guy had he for a period where Dallas had no receivers to speak of. He was their offense. I mean, do you not remember the helmet getting knocked off his head? He chugged 45 yards or so down the field to score a touchdown helmetless because he got hit so hard and just brushed it off. And it's hit so hard it knocked his helmet off. And this dude's running down the field without a helmet.
Between 2007 and 2012, 5 Pro Bowls, 2 first-team All-Pros, and 2 second-team All-Pros. Had over 120 catches every season during that run. So, best one of the best, if not the best tight end in football for that 6-year period. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And as much as I can't, you guys all know I can't stand the Cowboys. But Jason Witten's one of them guys.
I've got a question, Ben. I've got a question.
Yeah.
What about Eli?
We haven't gotten to Eli yet on purpose.
Well, I skipped Eli. I said we're going to do him last.
Okay.
And the thing about Witten, I hate Witten just as much, but I hate the Cowboys. But I'll tell you what, when I won a Cowboys Blaze helmet, the only reason I didn't get rid of it is because Jason Witten signed it. That's what I'm saying. I respect Witten that much that I probably have a Witten helmet.
Oh, I was had to charge. Witten, I just don't. Witten, he. To me, you need to be Super Bowls. I need to see rings on your finger, You need to be
But
the
he
best
can't
player
control
at your
that.
position.
How does a tight end control Super Bowls? I mean,
Travis Kelce?
even if he was the best tight end in NFL history,
Rob
let's
Gronkowski
on the
can't
best
control
tight ends
that.
in
He had
NFL
Tom
history that never even
Brady.
saw a Super Bowl.
Okay, so you can't control the part of the team. Okay, so you're on a bad team. But when was he the best tight end in the league? For you, like all those other guys you talked about, Shannon Sharp, Gronkowski, they were the best in the league.
But
when was that?
That's what I
When
was saying. Between 2007 and 2012, he was a 5-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time second-team All-Pro, caught 120 balls or more every season,
and didn't
during
drop
that run.
on Mark Andrews.
Yeah. That sounds best in the league to me.
When was he better than Antonio Gates? What day was this going on?
How about the 2 years he was first-team All-Pro?
Why was Mark Andrews better than Jason Witten?
Why are you bringing up Mark Andrews? What does he have to do with anything?
You're a Ravens guy?
Jamie's like, Mark Andrews shouldn't get in because he dropped that ball in the end zone.
Jason Witten was better than Mark Andrews. Jamie. There you go.
Jason Witten is in the same conversation as Tony Gonzalez and Antonio Gates.
No way. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Not for me. He's not.
Okay, so let's break down some stats. You ready? Jason Witten finished with 1,228 receptions, second all-time amongst tight ends, behind only Tony Gonzalez, who had 1,325. He had over 13,000 receiving yards, second amongst tight ends, 74 touchdowns, fifth. He earned 11 Pro Bowls, second most for a tight end, 4 All-Pro selections. Known for exceptional durability and reliability, he held records like most games played at tight end, 271. Not to mention he was a blocker. All-time rankings, he's number 4 behind Gonzalez, Gronk, and Kelce. Gates is actually ranked 5th behind him. That's according to Gronk.
And here's one for you guys. And I don't know if you knew this, if you saw this one or not, but played in 239 consecutive games. Started 239 consecutive games.
He is the Frank Gore argument. He is the guy.
No.
If you're just building the stats and longevity, he's had 4. I just looked it up. 4 times in these 1,000 years he played, he had 1,000 yards. Most years he was right around 7, 8. I don't see it with you guys. Don't see it.
He had 980 one year. He had 952 another year.
Out.
Right. Jason Witten, he was.
I
The tight ends back then weren't as athletic as the Travis Kelce's and the Gronks were. It was a different breed of tight end when Witten played.
Well,
Witten is a surefire first ballot guy.
Right.
Here's another one for you guys. Okay, and we're
tight ends now are
Frank
like
Gore.
number 1 wide receivers.
Well, but you're talking Frank Gore, okay? Frank Gore one time was a second team All-Pro in 06. Never a first team All-Pro. Was only selected to 5 Pro Bowls in his career, which means he wasn't even considered one of the top 3 in his conference, which means he wasn't one of the top 6 in the league.
I said
except
no
for
to Gore.
5 times.
I said no.
You know, so I mean, but here's the next to the last one though, and this is another one we go to Rav first. Marshall Yanda.
I don't think he gets in. I think he's pretty close to Hall of Fame. I love for it to happen because I think he was one of the best right guards I've ever seen. It's going to be very hard for a right guard to get in. I just think that position, unless he was the greatest player at his position, and he was, and he wasn't. I would love to see it though. Being a
John Hanna or Larry Allen or something like that.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to get in. I don't think he was that.
And anybody else got Marshall Yanda going in?
No.
Okay, now we get to the controversial portion of our show, I think. Eli Manning.
Yes.
2 Super Bowl victories, a career record of 149 and 149 in the regular season, only made 5 playoff appearances in his career. Was a Pro Bowler on 4 occasions. Was an All-Pro once in 2011, and was never a All-Pro outside of that, even first or second team All-Pro outside of that, and never threw more than 35 touchdowns in a season.
Yes, I think he's in the Hall of Fame, and I also think he's in the Hall of stealing Danny DeVito's Jersey Mike's gang.
We kind of see
Lies.
Eli Manning beat the GOAT in 2 Super Bowls. Enough said.
Right.
There were 52 other guys on that team that beat the GOAT too.
Well, then who made the 2 biggest throws of those games? Oh wait, it was the guy wearing number 10 with a giant.
Eli Manning belong in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but who made the catches? They were both. The one was a horrible pass that David Tyree made a hell of a catch on. And the other one, Plexico Burris, was so open, I could have caught it.
I think we kind of know.
What about the Mario Manningham one too?
Yeah, I forgot about the Manningham one. You're right, Jamie. No, I don't think Eli goes in. As much as I love what they, he may go in the future for broadcasting and stuff like that. But as far as this, no. Any of you guys think otherwise? I mean,
I think he goes in. I think he goes in. I wouldn't vote for him.
You think?
I wouldn't, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. I think he's kind of seen. If you don't put Ben Roethlisberger in, which I think he gets in, or if you don't put Phillip Rivers in, and I think he gets in, I think you're going to put Eli Manning in. So I think he gets in. I don't think he does. I wouldn't vote for him, but I think he gets in.
Rivers, Manning, and Roethlisberger were all part of the same draft class. So
yeah, that same era, and they all kind of viewed, I think, in the similar.
You
could argue
he's
won 2 Super Bowls. That's a big deal.
But who cares? I mean, look, I hate to say who cares, but I'm going to, because Manningham makes a miraculous luck catch on top of his helmet to win one.
It's Tyree.
Or Tyrese, sorry.
Yeah, it was Tyree.
But the point is, like, he had to get some lucky throws and a little bit of magic and some fairy dust sprinkled on it to get these wins. He was a 500 career record. He's an average quarterback who won 2 Super Bowls. So, great, let's put Trent Dilfer in too.
No.
Dilfer maybe. You know what? Let's put Jim McMahon. He has 2 Super Bowl rings.
He was better
McMahon
than average.
now too.
He was better than average.
Right. And if you want to use the comparison of Ben was 165, 81, and 81.
Yeah.
Massive difference.
Massive difference. He does. I mean, wait, what was his overall record again, Rich?
Ben?
No. Eli?
149 and 149.
So he's a 500 quarterback. No, thank you.
The absolute only guy that gives it a leg to stand on is Joe Namath. But Eli didn't guarantee they were going to beat the Patriots.
But
that's the only reason why Joe Namath is in. Let's be honest.
I'm going to make the opposite argument. How many guys as starting quarterbacks have won 2 Super Bowls that are not in?
I understand that. Well, that's where my problem. That's where my problem comes in. Is it one of those 3,000 hits or 500 homers that if you get that, you're automatically in? If you get 2 rings, are you automatically in?
Lions fans were saying all year we haven't lost back-to-back games in 3 years. Well, guess what? Now they've lost 3. He may be the first quarterback with 2 rings not to get in, because there are plenty of quarterbacks with 1 ring who aren't in. Okay, and so if you have a Super Bowl, you get in. Well, really, ask Brad Johnson how his bust looks. Oh wait, he doesn't have one. Eli may not get in because you've got 2 wins on a team sport. That took some pretty miraculous plays that were miraculous probably because you didn't make a good throw. At least you put it in the air. I'll give you some credit there.
We know where Ken sits.
But the catches were great catches, but they weren't they were great catches partially because they weren't good throws. But I will give him credit for putting the ball in the area and giving his receiver a chance to make a spectacular play, which they did do in those games. I'll give him credit for, winning the Super Bowl twice. Fine. But you're a 500 average quarterback. You're a 50-50 quarterback for your career. I mean,
I'm just saying, we just coasted Drew Brees in. There was no discussion whether Drew Brees
because
should
Drew
get in.
Brees belongs in some
He's
rare
got-
air. He's
he's
one of
got
5
one.
quarterbacks in the 5,500 club. 5 all time.
I agree with that, but he's got one. You got a guy with 2, and it's
The
really
number of Super
I can't
Bowls
think
is
of anyone
irrelevant.
else.
The number of Super Bowls is irrelevant because you look at his stats and his and the amount of throwing yards. He's in a group of 5 people for throwing yards touchdown combos. Was it 550 or 550,000 or whatever it is? I mean, there's 5 guys who've ever done the NFL. He's one of them. Yes, he only has 1 ring, but just because you have 2 rings doesn't mean you're a good quarterback. I mean,
to me, that's not irrelevant winning.
I mean,
That's-
the only reason he's in the
that's not
conversation is because he's got the 2 rings.
Right.
That's the only reason he's in the conversation.
I agree with that. I agree.
Winning Super Bowls when it comes to the Hall of Fame should be kind of the icing on the cake. You were just talking about Drew Brees, okay? And when you look at the fact that he was Offensive Player of the Year twice, runner-up to Offensive Player of the Year 3 other times, came in second in the MVP balloting 4 times, was first team All-Pro once, second team All-Pro 4 times. That's a Hall of Fame career. Not to mention the 80,000 yards and the 172, 114, and 0 record. That kind of stuff. 570 touchdowns.
What? Okay.
It's a Hall of Fame career.
There's no question about Brees. Again, I'm not questioning Brees. I'm just saying, Brees, why did the Chargers even draft Rivers in the first place? They were unhappy with Brees in the start of his career.
So was Miami.
That's what I'm
he
saying.
got that.
That's my point. Like because of his shoulder. I'm just saying, like it's not always linear. I'm saying a guy with this much winning at the highest level matters. It matters as far as the Hall of Fame. It has to. You can't say if you win or I don't think Darren Woodson gets in without the Cowboys. I mean, if he played in Arizona, do we feel the same way about Darren Woodson? No, we don't. It matters.
Well, look, I think Aikman, the only reason he's in is because he's got 3 rings with the Cowboys. You take away, if he was with any other team, I don't think he was a Hall of Fame quarterback. I mean, but you can't, and unfortunately, I think that's really the only reason he's in the Hall of Fame.
What, Aikman?
Yeah, Aikman. I mean, but for Eli, I think Rich is right when he says it's icing on the cake. Like with Drew Brees, phenomenal career, but until he had the Super Bowl, it wasn't a sure thing. The Super Bowl is the icing on the cake. In Eli's case, it's what's getting him into the conversation, not what's putting him over the top. So for a lot of these guys, the Super Bowl is what puts them over the top to solidify themselves as a Hall of Fame inductee. For Eli, it's just what gets him into the conversation. And then once you get past that, okay, he's got 2 Super Bowls. Past that, pretty black career. And he was replaced by Danny Dimes. In fact, he was run out of New York and forced to retire for Danny Dimes. Let that sink in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They drafted Danny Dimes because they wanted another Eli Manning. Because he was working with the Mannings and all that, etc. That's why they wanted him in the first place, because they wanted another Eli Manning.
Yeah, but they ran Eli out of town over it.
Yeah, but Eli was like 37 or 38 at the time. Like he was.
Well,
yeah.
Eli was a really good quarterback, and I agree with Kent. If he would have won 3, then that number 3 is the only reason Aikman's in.
Yep.
Because if he only won 2 with his numbers, he ain't in. And I think if Manning would have won a 3rd one, probably he would be a no-brainer to get in. But he's one of those guys that's it was a good quarterback, but he wasn't Hall of Fame. He wasn't elite. He wasn't, he had a couple of big games at the right time, but is he the elite of the elite? I don't think so. That's like saying Jalen Hurts. Right now, is Jalen Hurts a Hall of Famer?
All right. So I have the list. I have the list here. It's Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, John Elway, Bart Starr, Jim Plunkett, Roger Staubach, Bob Greasy, Pat Mahomes. The list. 2 or more.
Okay.
Who
Manning is the worst of all of them.
Who? Okay, but the rest of them are no question about it. The rest of them are in.
But they also have. Wait, go over that list one more time. Say that list one more time.
Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, John Elway, Bart Starr, Jim Plunkett, Roger Staubach, Bob Greasy, Pat Mahomes. 2 or more Super Bowls. And there is Jim McMahon here.
All of them,
one is a starter, one is a backup.
What's the difference between all of them and Eli?
They had a winning record.
And there's probably a lot more than just that, right? That's the point. For Eli, this is not the piece that puts him over the top. This is the piece that puts him in the conversation.
They were all premier.
All would have been Hall of Fame contenders without a Super Bowl. The fact that they got 2, like there's 1 or 2 of them that maybe with 1 may have been questionable, right? But they would have had good enough careers to get in maybe with 1, but 2, like Plunkett. I liked Plunkett a lot as a kid, but Plunkett may have been one with 1, maybe he didn't get in, but 2 solidified, right? But they all had other things that Eli didn't have. And Eli, like I said, for him, this is not what puts him over the top. This is what gets him in the conversation.
Yeah. The other with more are no question Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, and y'all already mentioned Troy Aikman.
But if Bradshaw didn't have those 4 rings, he ain't in.
No.
Look at the guy behind your jersey right there, Blyer. Does he sniff the Hall of Fame if he's on the Raiders in the 70s? Well, maybe the Raiders
not in the Hall of Fame.
But it's not even a thing. If he's on the Jets, no way.
But the guy he blocked for sure as heck is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, absolutely. Franco's in. I'm just saying, man. I'm just making a point.
Don't make me start making the case for Matsui.
Oh, please. But no, I mean seriously, and that's the thing. You've got to have the body of work. The Super Bowls and that stuff come in as icing, but you got to have the body of work. The offensive player of the year or defensive player of the year or all pros and that kind of stuff and Super Bowl champions. That's icing,
Rich,
on top of what you already done.
If Frank Gore had a Super Bowl ring, would that change your opinion on Frank Gore getting it?
No.
Even if he had a ring?
No. Yeah, it wouldn't change. It wouldn't change it a bit.
Because for Frank Gore, he's obviously in the conversation. He's on the list. I think for some voters, if he had a ring, it may push him over the top.
There are voters that are they're voting to put him in simply because he's top 5 all time in yards. Yeah. And that's the only reason, which is garbage.
That's pretty
because if you could, you could play for 20 years and have 20,000 yards and or 20, play for 25 years, have 20,000 yards, average 50 yards a game, and they'll put you in the Hall of Fame. That's garbage. My philosophy has always been baseball, football, basketball, hockey, don't care. If you were not an elite player, a top 5 player in the league at your position for a 5-year period or longer, you're not Hall of Fame worthy. There is no way in this world someone's going to tell me that Frank Gore was a top 5 running back at any point, period, in his career, let alone a 5-year stretch. Nobody's going to convince me of that. He was a good running back that played on some really good San Francisco teams that piled up a bunch of yards. and ended up getting what, 16,000 for his career. Congratulations to him. You're not a Hall of Fame player. I'm sorry. You're Hall of Very Good, not Hall of Fame.
Fair
I
enough.
think Gore, though, might be the best statistical player to not get in if he doesn't get in. Usually you're not in the top
And I'll
5
go
and
with
don't
that.
get in.
Well, and I can go along with that. I mean,
Art Monk was like
you
that
look-
for the longest time. Like statistically, like there should have been no argument, but he didn't get in for forever there. Like,
I gotta
but
keep
if
going,
you look
guys.
at, all right, man. How's everybody get you?
Okay, here we go. You can find me, yours truly, at Bill's Chat 1, at Bill's Mafia Chat, and also at Jamie Malone, the unbiased journalist at DJ Dogtags on X, and thefortball.com. I write about all sports. You can catch me every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock p.m., or catch me and Joe Dalio every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock p.m., where we just did another episode of the Buffalo Sports Conversation Room, the last episode of 2025. And also, you can catch me here every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Driving the Top Productions with me, Adam Kenna, for Open Sports Mike. We just did our last episode of 2025, and then at every Wednesday you can catch me, Ken, and Kitty Ken, the Bears fan, and
No, Kitty Ken, the Packers fan.
sorry, Ken the Bears fan, Kitty Ken the Packers fan, and then you can catch Jeremy B and all the Huddle Sports Network boys on NFL Roundtable Talks, and then starting every Thursday in March 27th, 2026, me, Adam, Jeremy B, and Marcus will be doing season 3 of the UFL. And then, so thank you guys very much for listening tonight. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, ring the bell for all notifications. And for more content at Driving to the Top Productions, please visit our YouTube page, Twitch stream, Facebook stream, actually, wherever you get your podcast. From all of us here at Driving to the Top Productions, I'm Jamie Molloy, and we wish you a very safe and happy New Year, healthy New Year, stay safe, and we love you guys. Thank you very much for listening. And we'll see you next Tuesday in 2026 for our first episode of the year. Good night, everybody.
All right,
Night,
Jim.
Jim.
Happy New Year.
Good night, Jeremy.
Happy New Year.
Hey guys, when I look at the career NFL rushing list, okay, and we'll just use this as the example. In the top 20, okay, number 20 is John Riggins at 11,352 yards. At this exact minute, there are 4 guys on this list that are not in the Hall of Fame. Okay, Steven Jackson, Fred Taylor, Adrian Peterson. I'm sorry, 5. Steven Jackson, Fred Taylor, Derrick Henry, Adrian Peterson, Frank Gore. Derrick Henry will be a first ballot when he gets done. I think we're all pretty safe in saying that. Steven Jackson and Fred Taylor, no way. They're not even going to sniff the Hall of Fame. Yeah, who's the other one I'm missing?
AP.
Yeah, AP. Is he going to get in? He'll be eligible next year.
AP gets in.
Does he get in with all the peripheral stuff off the field, which
that's kind of what I'm
shouldn't have
thinking
an
right
effect
now.
on it, but it is part of the NFL guidelines.
He will
for
get
getting
in.
into the Hall of Fame.
He may not get in first ballot because of the switch incident, but he'll get in within the first 2 years.
Kind of like
And
T.O.
I think he should. Yeah, I think he should. But I look at Frank Gore in that same realm as Fred Taylor and Steven Jackson.
And
he
again,
just
why
played longer than those 2 guys? They were good. They weren't that great.
Fred Taylor and Steven Jackson, what's the other thing they have in common?
Lots of kids.
Lots of kids, and they didn't win. I mean, they won, but they didn't play. I'm telling you guys that matters in every the guys you
But they
think
were
should be in.
never.
Go
But
ahead,
they were
Tom.
never the best in the league. Steven Jackson was the best in the league for 2 years. And then he crapped the bed after that. He went berserk for 2 years and had some tremendous numbers. Fred Taylor never did. He was really
Frank
good,
Gore
but
also
he was never elite.
Frank Gore also had some big time memorable runs that those other two didn't have. Like he was that guy that, especially early with San Francisco, like he was San Francisco's offense for years. I mean, they weren't a good football team, but at least they had Frank Gore. And Gore would wreck games. And yeah, I get it. He didn't have the big numbers and stuff, but he was still a game wrecker. He kind of got wasted in his prime in San Francisco. If he had been on a better football team, he might have a couple rings and maybe have better numbers. He was a really, really, really good running back on a shitty football team. And then he managed to do something that no other running back has ever done. Play for 20 years in this league and be productive in all 20 years.
Congratulations. Jim Cott pitched for 27 years. Doesn't mean he should be in the Hall of Fame. He was an average pitcher. Frank Gore, congratulations. You're the first running back to go for 20 years. Good for you. Doesn't mean you're Hall of Fame.
This is the Nolan Ryan argument. Does being good enough for a long time make you great?
I look at with this class, I think though this kind of class lends itself to a guy like Gore getting in. Like if this was a stronger class, like there's only 3 guys you can say off the top of the head. Okay, they're first ballot, right? You got 3 guys. After that, it gets a little harder. And if you look at longevity, impact, those kinds of things, I mean, Torrey Holt, should he get in? Well, yeah, great show on turf. He's part of that 1-2 punch. Yeah, great. But he kind of falls in the Frank Gore category, in a certain way. Because minus the Super Bowl greatest show on turf, what does he have? Decent numbers. I mean, when you look at T Sizzle, what does he have without Ray Lewis? Probably a decent career. It's the same thing you can make with look at his counterpart didn't get in last year's and fell off the ballot this year. That should kind of tell you where T Sizzle will probably end up. I mean, Briggs and T Sizzle to me are the same. So he's not going to be a first ballot guy. The guy he played with was for both guys. The guy they played with was. So you look at the rest of this list. You know what? This is a year that Eli might scrape in with the 2 just because he has 2 Super Bowl wins, and Frank Gore scrapes in because he has 20 years. Because there's no one else on this list outside those top 3 where you go, yep, no doubt, yep.
I think he
there's
gets in.
4.
I don't think I just.
I think
vote
there's 4. There's no doubters though.
Who's your 4th no doubter?
Witten.
Witten. All right, who you?
Vinatieri.
Oh,
Breeze,
Vinatieri. Yeah.
Fitzgerald.
Vinatieri, I look at in my mind, he's a no doubter, but so is Devin Hester, and he met every criteria you're looking at. He was the best.
Yeah, but Devin Hester didn't score points.
He changed the game. He literally changed the game. They had to change the game because of him, but they still made him wait an extra year because they don't like to put special teamers in first ballot. And Vinatieri could face the same kind of deal, even though, man, the man was clutch. Like, he should be a first ballot. And if he's not, it's just because, oh, well, you're a special teamer, you're a kicker. He's going to be like, what, the 4th kicker to go in the Hall? That's it?
I think he's the greatest kicker of all time. So I think if you're the greatest player of all time in a position, you get in.
Devin Hester was the greatest player of all time in his position, and he had to wait an extra year.
I agree he should have been in first, earlier than that.
No, man, Billy White Shoes Johnson was better. I'm kidding.
So, I mean, I agree with Rich that Vinatieri should be a first. I'm just telling you why, if he's not, he won't be because, special teamer, they don't get to be first ballot guy.
And, I wouldn't be surprised if that 5th is Kuechly. Kuechly has the resume. Above, you look at Breeze and Fitzgerald are far and away have the resume, no questions asked. The 3rd best resume is Kuechly.
I would say it's Witten, but that's okay. Kuechly,
because you look, he was first team All-Pro 6 out of his 8 years of his career, and the other 2 years he was second team.
It's kind of like why is
That's
Luck not
pretty
in the Hall of
damn good.
But it's kind of like why is Andrew Luck not in the Hall of Fame? You know, he was dominant for his 8 years in the league, or 7 of the 8 years in the league. He was dominant as a quarterback for Indianapolis. The guy, I mean, you know, he's the only reason they were any good. Kuechly, I get what you're saying, but I think they're going to have a hard time with him leaving after 8 years.
Luck's another
Well,
one too.
the
The
other
way
thing-
he left kind of
Yeah.
hurts him, I think, too.
But Andrew Luck only played 5 full seasons. He was all pro twice. But he
Kuechly
only
got his
played
money and
5
got
years.
out. Look, Kuechly was smart. He got his money, he got out, and even said when he retired, I want to be able, and I'm older, to be able to play with my grandkids. I get it. He used this over this for his career, right? He said,
Sure,
okay, look,
sure.
the punishment, like Urlacher the last year when the Bears offered him 2, he said, I'm not going to put my body through this for less than 3. I got the argument he made that year because you get to that point, it's like, okay, now I'm putting my latter years with my grandkids at risk to keep playing. And Kuechly he made generational money when he played, right? His family will never have to make another dime. His interest alone pays for his lifestyle, probably. But
I got to get out of here. So real quick here,
I do too.
Ravery Sports Podcast this week. We were talking about Hall of Fame. We were talking about the Baltimore Orioles Hall of Fame. Who gets in? Who is the greatest Orioles of all time? Also, to obviously the massive winner take all. We're going to be talking about that this week. And Ravery Sports blog spot. So we're writing a blog every day. Ravery Sports blog spot. So definitely check that out as well. Publishing 5 days a week. It's available every morning at 6 a.m. Ravery Sports blog spot. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about on the blog today we talked about the massive game this weekend, Ravens and Steelers. Tomorrow we're talking about who's the Ravens MVP. I think it's Zay Flowers. So we're talking about that. All right. Thank you, guys.
Happy New Year's, Rev.
Happy New Year, Rev.
Happy New Year. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting vote, though. Like, I Kuechly, like, he's another one because of this draft class. I think there are 2 or 3 guys because of this draft class could get in. Kuechly, Gore, and Eli.
I hope not. It's just going to reinforce the fact that, the fact that they require 5 guys to go in is bad enough.
I
But
think
then
they
when
should
there's
be able
not
to put
enough,
more than 5 in. You know what I mean? Like, there's
but
some
they should
years
also
you could
be able to put 1 in.
Yeah, I think there are some years you could justify 5 guys going in the Hall of Fame, or more than 5
Right.
guys going in.
Just like in baseball, you could have as many as 10 guys that could go in.
Or 1.
If you only have 1, or if you have 0, then you have 0.
Didn't we just have the 0 year not long ago?
A few years ago, yeah, right before Rivera went in. But that's part of the deal with this, is that it's forcing guys that don't necessarily deserve to be in there to be in there. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. If you look at that Hall of Fame list, there's a bunch of guys in there that you sit there and go, why are they here?
Well, not only do they put 5 in every year from the main list. Wait, that's just 5
used to be
from the main
7.
list. Is it 5 total? That includes the legacy guys, doesn't it?
No, plus the legacy guys.
They can put 2 more from the legacy guys in and 1 more from the coach, broadcaster, whatever category, right? Is that how that works? So up to 8 guys can go in. And look, I think there are some guys in the legacy that have better cases than some of the guys who are on the ballot this year. And look, thank God Phillip Rivers came out of retirement, or he'd be on that list this year. And we'd really be having a discussion.
I don't know that Rivers is a Hall of Famer.
I think Rivers has a better career than Eli. Eli has 2 Super Bowls, but Rivers' career overall is better.
He did, but I still don't think it's a Hall of Fame career.
But what I'm saying, I think he's got a better career than Eli.
And you're right. But I don't think either one of them. I don't think either one of them's a Hall of Famer, though.
So
I think the
mean,
only one out of that Hall of Fame class that gets in is Ben.
So I mean, it just seems like this year it comes down. If Vinatieri breaks the norm and gets a first ballot, it comes down to: do you let Gore in, or
No,
do you let Kuechly in?
Kuechly.
I think you're going to find a big split on that one overall. Look at, I know you're like, well, 20 years, congratulations, here's a cookie. But dude, the NFL average for a
Here's your
running back,
watch.
4 years. This dude did 20 and he was productive every year.
Okay, but our definition of productive is completely different.
Well, no,
Averaging 50 yards a game is not productive, Ken. Come on.
What was his average per carry?
Let me look. Hold on. Let me pull it back up.
It's an interesting debate, guys.
It is.
And have you talked about this on your show at all?
No. No, we didn't. We were too busy talking about the Bears this morning.
For his career,
we missed
his
Monday.
career yards. His career yards per carry is 4.3. But from 2015 through 2020, so his last 6 years, he only had more than 4 yards a carry one season. 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.9, 3.7.
So he was durable and he was consistent. I mean, he's
okay. That doesn't make you elite, and that's what the Hall of Fame is supposed to be: is the elite, the best of the best. Consistency, great. Steadiness, fantastic. I'll give you that.
He's done something no one else could ever do, has ever done, may ever do.
Okay,
that's elite in its own right.
No, it's not. Not that particular thing. It's not. If he would have broken Eric Dickerson's record, that's one thing. But playing for 20 years, no. I mean, no. He's not a kicker.
He's exactly. He's not a kicker. He's in a position group where no one gets past 10, 12 years. He blew way past that, and he was consistent. Like he was.
Well, he was consistently okay.
He was better than okay. He's better than league average.
Huh? League average is 4 yards a carry. His last 6 years, he was under 4. League average is 4 yards a carry.
Hold on, I'm trying to bring something up here, see if it can give it to me. Comparing Frank Gore's career average versus the rest of the NFL for the same average. So he was 4.3 from 2005 to 2020. During the same period, the NFL league average was roughly 4.
Okay. But again,
so
look
he's
at
above average his entire career-wise, right?
Right.
I mean, it's.
But look at 2015 through 2020.
Yeah, at the end of the career. I get what you're saying.
3.7, 3.9, 3.7, 4.6 in 2018, and then 3.6, 3.5.
Yeah, because at the end of his career, he was more of a short, a 3rd-and-1 guy, a goal line guy. I got that.
I fully get that, and I understand. He was a little bit above average. Again,
I won't be mad
not make him a Hall of Famer.
But this way, I won't be mad if he gets in, but I also won't be mad if he doesn't get it. I think with this draft, with this class this year, it's right. Especially Vinatieri. They say, well, we're not letting a special teamer in first go. I think him and Kuechly both get in at that point. Like I said, I'm not mad either way. I feel I would put Gore in before I put Eli. That's just me.
That's a whole different discussion. I'd have to flip a coin on that one. because
But I mean,
neither one of them deserve to be in there.
I think Gore more than Eli, because Eli was a 500 quarterback. Gore is better than
Right.
500. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I mean, that would be, yeah. I mean, Gore might have the edge over Eli, but neither one of them deserve to go in. I'm sorry. I mean, and
I
that's
think
probably
there's
going
some
to get a lot of
players
people jacked
like,
up and that kind of deal. But
well, like Charles Tillman deserves to go in, and he's not even in the list this year. I mean, they still use
Tillman goes in, Woodson better be in first.
I mean, they still do the peanut punch. He changed the way defense is played single-handedly, which is one of the criteria. He was dominant in that. I mean, he Peanut. I think there's other reasons keeping him out. Some of it was the FBI agent thing, the political piece might be hampering him a little bit. But and like I said, Suggs and Briggs, I think both guys should get in, but they should go in together, just like their teammates did. I think those two guys were as linebackers were very much overlooked in their careers because of the guys they played with, but without them, the guys they played with might not have had the Hall of Fame careers they had. You know what I mean? They were Scotty to Michael. I mean, Briggs, he's got a great sheet, but people don't talk about Briggs as much because they talk about Urlacher, and they don't talk about Urlacher because it's all about lose because Baltimore won the 2 Super Bowls. But honestly, those 4 linebackers dominated an entire decade, and all 4 of them should be in. But they should. But I think Suggs and Briggs should go in together. I think that would be fitting.
Yeah.
And they both
Just like
may have
I
to wait
think-
till they get the player
It's
look.
like I think James and Ben or James and Hines should get in next year too, because Ben's going to be a first-time ballot.
Yeah, Ben will be a first time.
And I just think flood Pittsburgh there for those 3, and get it over with.
I mean, but yeah, this year is going to be very interesting. It's going to be interesting to see when the Gold Jackets come out.
Yeah. I mean, I will be extremely aggravated if Gore gets in. I'll be extremely aggravated if Eli gets in, simply because it just keeps reinforcing it's not the Hall of Fame. It's the Hall of Very Good, because you're putting guys in there that have no reason to be in there. They're not. The Hall of Fame is supposed to be the greatest of all time. And you're not going to convince me that Eli or Frank Gore are the greatest of all time. You're just not.
But we're also getting to that point now where that were in a running back by committee, which it really wasn't like that back.
For Gore.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which makes it even more crazy that he only averaged 55 or 60 yards a game.
Well, I mean, but you can't. You also have to look at the teams he played for. He didn't exactly play for a lot of great teams. That
played most of his career for the 49ers when they were pretty good.
49ers, he
really
was
good.
their offense at that time. Like, without Gore, they didn't have anything.
Well, it's just that thing. And we see it every year. We've had guys going in that they're very good, but they're not the elite players in the game, and it drives me freaking crazy.
And like Luke Kuechly, I wish he would have played like maybe even if he had just played 2 more years, he'd be an easy one. But for him leaving after 8 years makes it harder. I think look, if it comes down between Kuechly and Gore, I think Kuechly might have better odds because of the accolades. But I think at some point Gore gets in. It may not be this year, but I think at some point there's a better case for Gore to get in because of longevity, because of where he is on the all-time rushing list and where he is on some of these all-time lists. There's that reason to get in, because when little Johnny's at the Hall of Fame and sees his bust, they're not seeing yards, how many yards per carry. They're not looking at that. They're seeing, oh, third all time on the running back list. Oh, 20 years, service. I mean, I get it reads. He doesn't read as bad as maybe you think, but I think Gore has a pretty decent shot at getting in. Eli, look at because of the Manning family is the reason he's talking about, and because he has the two
Right.
Super Bowls against Tom Brady, it's the only reason he's. But for him, that's what gets him in the conversation. Then when you get him in the door, he's got nothing. Like he's like the guy you let into the high end party because he has a nice car, and then he shows up with a 6-pack of Natty Light.
Right. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at just the inductees for the last 5 years. Okay. Sterling Sharp has no business being in the Hall of Fame. Sorry. Your brother? Yes. Sterling Sharp's got no business being in the Hall of Fame. 595 catches for 8,000 yards. Congratulations. I don't know that Mongo deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know that Mongo definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
That 85 Bears defense is what got him in. That he was that.
Ken Riley, the defensive back for Cleveland or for Cincinnati. How? I mean, how?
I think what's interesting is we got a lot of special teamers coming up. Like you got Vinatieri now. What's Seabass next year or the year after? Seabass is eligible.
I believe that's right.
Janikowski, like he should. Is he going to get in? Is Robbie Gold when he becomes eligible? Does he get in?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this 2022 class,
yeah.
I mean, okay, let's look at this. Tony Baselli, questionable. Cliff Branch, okay. Leroy Butler, questionable. Sam Mills, questionable. Richard Seymour, okay. Bryant Young, more than questionable. There's not a dead ringer in that class. There is not a guy in that class that you say, yeah, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. Not one.
You know what's really hard is offensive linemen. Offensive linemen are so hard to judge as fans, and because we're football nerds to a point, but to judge like some of these offensive linemen, it's so hard, especially if it's not a guy from your team, because can you name the really good offensive linemen on all these teams? Probably not. You might know a couple throughout the league, maybe, but you get some of these guys that get in, and you're like when Jimbo Covert got in 20. One of the he was a dominant center for the Bears back in the day, but people were like, huh? Because the offensive linemen are the hardest for me, especially if they're not for my team, because then you have to start digging into their pressure rates and all that good stuff. And the offensive linemen, they're the hardest ones for me to judge, to be honest. And we might, I'm sure there's been some Hall of Fame worthy offensive linemen that have gotten overlooked that shouldn't.
Possibly, but I also know when Jimbo Covert was the left tackle that he didn't allow anybody to hit Jim McMahon.
No.
And when you start talking about some of the better left tackles of all time, especially the last, let's say, 50 years, Jimbo Covert's on that short list with a guy like Joe Thomas and a guy like Jonathan Ogden, Orlando Pace, and guys like that.
So these guys,
you put him on there. Eric Williams from the Cowboys.
So these guys in the collecting world, when they go in the Hall of Fame, like when Urlacher and Lewis, and man, their auto price is shot through the roof the second they put that Hall of Fame on. Jimbo Covert, dude, he didn't even charge you for the inscription, and he's probably one of the cheapest Hall of Famers you can get us. Because he's an offensive lineman. So people are like, whatever. I've got one. Right away, I've got it on a 1936 throwback. So inscription was free. He puts in inscription. He inscribes free because offensive linemen get no love.
Well, he went to Pitt, and I've got a friend of mine that graduated with him from Pitt. So if I ever want to get something from him, I gotta just call him up and say, "Hey, can you get him to do whatever?"
I've got an 11 by 14 of him, and I've got a helmet.
But I got a boogie, guys. It's 10:30 here, and
Hey,
I got
Happy New Year's tomorrow, guys.
Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year, Adam.
Happy
You've
New
been
Year's,
sitting back
guys.
there vegging out
Absolutely.
while Ken and I do a show.
And Adam, hey Adam, I'm just happy you're here and you survived your first holiday season with that gig.
Yeah, there
Fucking
you go,
nuts,
man.
dude. Absolutely insane. I still have not even gotten my dog yet. My dog's still in kennel.
Are your has your
Wow.
calf grown 3 sizes yet?
My what?
Have your calves grown by 3 sizes yet?
I don't know. I didn't measure. Sorry. I know, like my pants got really fucking small, really big though.
Yeah, losing all that weight. You're working out.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've lost probably what
Uh,
29, 32, 34 pounds.
I'll say this: like I've known guys in the service I've served with that were like UPS, FedEx, whatnot. Every single one of them, no body fat, looking like pro athletes because they're humping those boxes around. They're loading the truck, then doing the deliveries, then loading a truck, doing the man. It's a workout. These guys they get paid to work out basically.
yeah.
It's definitely a workout, Ken. It definitely has knocked the shit out of me for sure.
Yeah, that's why I'll never do it. That's why I'm staying retired.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
do got a boogie, guys. So I
Have
will.
a good New Year's, guys.
Yeah,
You
I do
guys
too.
too.
Ken, who wants to go first, and then we'll just get the hell out of here. Happy
I'll
New
make
Year,
mine
everyone.
simple.
Rich, we're not doing a show tomorrow, right?
Not as far as I know,
Okay.
unless you change something.
I'll
Not as far
I'll
as
make
I
it
know.
simple. You can get me at Talking Sports on X and just give me a follow and turn on the notification, and then you'll know every time we go on, whether it be this show or any of the Huddle Network shows. There we go. Everyone have a great New Year's, and thank you for being with us all this time.
Absolutely, Ken. Ken, have a good one, and whatever you're doing tomorrow night, enjoy it. And
Sit at home.
I am at Sports Talking It on Twitter. You can get me driving to the Top Productions. And everybody, Happy New Year's. Next year, we're going to roll, and we're still going to go. And Rich, close it out for the year, buddy.
All right, man. On Twitter, Big Rich 8371. On Facebook, just my name, Rich Richardson, and lots of big things happening. Two Tire Change comes back first part of January, and something that Haas and I are working on. So lots of new things coming at the start of the year. We appreciate everybody. Y'all have a happy, safe New Year. Do not drink and drive. Take advantage of the services that are provided to get you home safe. And we will see y'all all next year. Until then, so long, everybody.